baby, if you've ever wondered whatever became of me. I'm living on the air in Cincinnati, WKRP. Got kinda tired of packing and unpacking, town to town, up and down the dial. Maybe you and me were never meant to be, but baby, think of me once in a while. I'm at WKRP in Cincinnati.
TalkRadar number 80, supposed to be the Ultra Mega 80s edition podcast, but that's been ruined by our special guest. Hold on. It's still about that. I'm Christopher Antista.
I'm Michael Raparas.
I am Brett Elston.
And our special guest, noise. Ow.
Hi, I'm Dan Amrick, late of OXM, late of World of Warcraft official magazine.
Hi.
Hi.
Since I've worked here, Dan has worked on 3 different publications. Are we a publication?
Yeah, right? You're a publication. You're just an internet publication. Sort of. Were you here? Was I on Radar when you joined Radar?
No, I think you had left like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It was like you were there. You
just
basically
survive.
Just say 3.
3.
Just say 3. There you go. There you go.
Yay.
And to be totally honest, I didn't know if you worked here or not, because I think you had just so recently left. You were over here all the time, and it was awesome.
No, it was not awesome.
Hate you being on the 3rd floor. But yeah, that's Dan. Dan is just...
I just sold out, I think, is what you're trying to say.
I want to talk all about it in the second break, because we have to stick to formula. Our listeners are creatures of routine.
I understand.
And get upset. You remember what we do every Monday on GamesRadar.com, Dan?
Do we want to tease the rest of the podcast real quick?
Well, we got Dan. Dan is probably going to talk about some games. But we do have some cool stuff to give away of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince on DVD. Yeah, it comes out December 8th. Dan has brought in, what is this?
I've got a little special tchotchke for WoW players. We'll talk about it later.
Ooh. This is something what? That's
something rare.
Yeah, something
rare and yet incredibly useful.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about it later.
We're going to talk about our friend Dan here.
Yeah.
Talk about him or roast him. Who knows?
Or roast him.
Or roast him?
Or roast him.
That question of the week, you can ask a games journalist.
Oh, yeah.
But then, Dan, every Monday, you should know what's on Games Radar every Monday.
I don't.
Please do remember.
I don't remember.
Top 7? Top 7.
Yes,
top 7?
Daniel.
See, I predate the top 7.
So do I.
Top 7? No. We didn't do any top 7s while I was there. We were busy trying to be just reviews and stuff.
Right.
You kids have taken this site to a whole new.
Oh, you kids!
What do they call it in those games? A level? That's what you guys have taken.
A whole new board.
A whole new map.
Yeah, there's a. It's a whole new frame in bowling or whatever. So it's like a new game of horseshoes with you guys.
Why is everyone from fucking Bronx?
Because it's an easy accent to do.
It's an easy accent to do, and it doesn't really exist anymore.
Yeah. You only hear it with 80-somethings.
It's just nobody's
this
to
is true.
offend because it doesn't exist.
Unless you...
From New Jersey, like Daniel here.
I am from
Hello,
Jersey.
friend Daniel.
I'm from Jersey, but I'm feeling much better now.
Well, we do a top 7.
Yes.
Which is 7 of the top things.
Generally, they're all lesbian vampires. This is my running joke.
Look, that was the first one, and the 3rd, and every even number.
And then the 69th.
Dog.
These have
We're so much more.
I'm sure it's more than 69 by now.
Oh, yeah. There's one a week since 2006, October.
You could figure it out if you look at when I was hired. Whatever. It was like the first top 7 was like the week I got here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so,
And I
was back in the boring years.
Man, the first year was very tough.
Yeah.
Which we'll probably get into later.
Yeah, I mean, you were...
I was here so long that you've rewritten some of my articles.
I have rewritten them. And added content.
Yeah. You finally fixed them. It's great that somebody went back and fixed them.
Some of the old stuff is so unreadable, just because of the formatting of what we had when we redesigned the site.
You knew about how it was. You were involved in the planning of how it was when we started.
Yeah, I was powerless to change how it was, but
that's true.
Yeah, I was unfortunately there for the very, very difficult birth of the Games Radar
Good God, it was
back end and the CMS that we used to create the site. Oh, good lord.
CMS meaning Content Management System.
Yeah.
For
Boy,
those who
Michael.
don't know.
Can't make shit is what we called it at the time. It was just, the thing was so broken. It's much better now.
It's barely better.
Somewhat
It's
better.
much better now. Because I've got nostalgia, so everything... you know,
I
Yeah.
see. Oh, we'll get to that. All right. Anyway, we got a top 7 this week. The top 7 sexiest commercials.
Yeah.
Slightly different headline.
Oh,
Slight.
what? I was going to wait for somebody to correct me. I thought we had a rapport.
Blatantly sexist advertisements.
Oh, man. I got my boner out for nothing.
Put it back. That's sexist.
And put it back in your glass pants.
Boners are
Where it can be a
sexist.
feminist boner.
Does feminism make you hot?
I have drained all the misogyny out of my boner.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Sometimes in public.
It's basically just making fun of commercials that are like, girls are dumb.
Yeah.
Number
No, a lot
7.
of
Number 7 on that list was what?
Very recently, Uncharted 2.
Even this struck me like, man.
And it's sad
kind of
becau-
funny. It's presented well.
Yeah.
Uncharted 3. Have you heard this? Seen this commercial, Dan?
Even better, Uncharted 2.
Uncharted 2, I believe
Uncharted 2.
it's right here on GamesRadar.com.
Oh,
I can,
Daniel,
I
I'm gonna
can watch it.
Don't you watch it because I'm gonna let you
Oh,
hear it.
All right.
Dear PlayStation, I've been playing Uncharted 2 Among Thieves, but my girlfriend won't stop watching because she thinks it's a movie.
This is pretty common, Jason. I mean, just look at this game. You know, you got Nathan Drake's epic gunfights, impossible escape scenes, and a plotline filled with betrayal. Give her an hour or so, she'll know it's a video game.
It's been 2 days.
Ready, honey?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna file this under not an issue.
Isn't it funny? He's played for days, and she's a girl, right?
Yeah.
So
that,
girls
like-
don't know what things are
Yeah.
unless it's a
It's like a-
unless it's a cooking utensil.
Right,
They don't
yeah.
get it.
It's like a blinking, flashing screen, and there's people on it. It must be a movie.
Here's my big problem with that. It basically sold Uncharted 2 with the bullet point of it has betrayal.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
that's not cool.
Full of betrayal and
because
Really?
they have betrayal on like the OC and 90210 and some of her other
right.
favorite
Betrayal
movies.
is so
Oh,
09.
right, yes. Yes, women love betrayal.
Yeah.
Horrible harpies that they are.
But then also it just makes the PlayStation dude who's selling this thing is like, I'm filing this under not a problem, which is basically saying you're getting laid, so what's the problem? Like,
That's right. She's not screaming and yelling about my game, so it must be okay. She's not being a total
it's just like
bitch.
everybody
she's not
comes.
throwing her tampons at me, nothing like that.
I mean, alternately, you can look at this as she's like the best girlfriend ever, and that she sits there and quietly watches and just pretends she thinks it's a movie so that he doesn't get antsy about it.
Who wears cut off jean shorts
Yeah.
casually, by the way.
Mhm.
Hey guys, want to
Alright.
watch this movie Uncharted 2?
I would never.
Man, most
wear
of the
those
girls I know
shorts.
list just like that.
Bringing that up at the office the next day. Have you guys seen Uncharted 2? It's like really good. How long though? I don't know why my boyfriend yells at it so much. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Why the main character dies over and over
Yeah.
again.
No, I don't even say how he comes back to life. He must be Jesus.
It's like the Matrix. They just keep repeating.
And why it says push X to hop over,
It's like that movie Run Lola Run.
which I've also seen.
I didn't like it.
It's
that girl
directed
had red hair.
by this this foreign director named Sonny, and we're part of the problem. Number
we
6,
totally are. Hold up shit.
Who's Naughty Dog?
Naughty Dog. Oh, sorry.
That was me being the girl.
Yeah,
But before we like totally shit all over that,
sure.
in general, those ads, the new Sony marketing is very good.
Yeah.
It's better than it was.
And
Yes.
to be fair, I mean, this was a funny ad. It's just, it kind of, the punchline is just a little bit,
And more importantly, it fit the criteria of the article.
Yes.
It did,
Yeah.
and it was relevant. So
Yes.
it was a new popular game.
Much like this one, which
it
I
was
wasn't
sexist
sure.
and also top.
Wasn't sure if I could get behind it till the writer made a better point on it. Super Princess Peach.
Good game.
It was not necessarily the commercial, which sounded a little something like this.
Once upon a time, princesses were called to rescue 2 captured plumbers. They trained intensely to master the skills necessary for survival. If you can stand up to really mean people, maybe you have what it takes to be a princess.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, girls in pink dresses run around.
Yeah, it had. I guess it had more idolatry of
But wait
the
a minute.
princess? What?
I mean, it's based on a character that is known for wearing a pink dress. Are you really going to ding this one? For
No,
no,
but it's the thing below and what she battles with.
Yeah, the game
Hearts?
No, Super Princess Peach.
Sort of.
It's a game. It's Peach is rescuing Mario and Luigi this time.
Right,
But-
which seems very forward-thinking.
Yes, except the bit with her is she uses her emotional state to fight enemies. So there's like anger, sadness, happiness. Like when she
And
gets
tears drown stuff.
tears grow things, and anger makes her stronger. And
Moral is girls have emotions.
yeah, aren't
4.
So Mario gets fireballs and she gets crying.
She gets crying, which is a power. And there's actual like art of her that's just ripe for hentai and like it's just like mouth open. Wow!
Oh, I see
Like,
this art here on
crying.
the site. Oh,
Oh,
dear.
I didn't know that.
It's just
Wow.
like the whole game is. It's a fun game, but it's like really the first time you give Peach the starring role, her powers are her weak emotions.
They're
Right.
like,
I'm out of control.
she's turning her feminine weaknesses into power.
into strength.
Yeah.
Your mission? To use fire, wind, and water to save Mario and Luigi. Super Princess Peach, only on Nintendo DS. Rated E for everyone.
Now, wait a minute. That
Yeah,
said
the-
fire,
the
wind,
commercial
and water,
said,
not PMS.
Well,
and-
that's the PMS is the fire. The wind is I don't even want to say it.
Yeah,
The only
let's
thing that's
not
coming to my
go
mind.
there.
Number 5, Nintendogs, and this is incredibly irritating. This commercial, because this is the first line of marketing I saw for games that was not interested in me
Yeah.
at all, and it went a little something like this.
Ugh, leave me alone. I'm so ditching you for my Nintendo. I mean, when I say roll over, he rolls over.
Yeah.
And when I say Reed Collins is the cutest boy ever, he listens. And maybe you don't know what a big deal I am because you only have one eye, but my Nintendo can see everything, including how volcanic my outfit is today.
How volcanic her outfit is today.
What?
Nintendo.
He's talking to a teddy bear. for a second.
Yeah.
I was going to say, on behalf of people that only have one working eye, I'm really fucking... yeah. How volcanic her outfit is?
Volcanic
Because it's
her
so
outfit is.
hot. Is
'Cause
that the...
Nintendogs can see also.
And little girls who play Nintendo should be wearing really hot outfits.
Yeah.
Kind of creepy.
Volcanic outfits.
Volcanic. Well,
Yes.
so volcanic.
You see my little cousin, she's volcanic. No, but in this one, this is just for you, Dan Amrick.
Oh.
This is a bonus, a bonus. What is, as a bonus, the Solar Fox commercial?
Holy shit. From 1982?
Look at this man, Dan. I'm gonna have to, without checking that. That is correct.
I am old as dirt.
We'll get to that too.
Fuck.
And,
All right.
Solar Fox. What is Solar Fox about?
Solar Fox is about 5 minutes if you don't know what you're doing, and most of us did not know what we were doing. Solar Fox is like a spaceshipy game mixed with Pac-Man. It's not all that good. It's a combination of like a free-floating maze game with space. Like somebody tried to make Space Invaders and Pac-Man into one, and it didn't really work.
I didn't understand.
It was an arcade game.
Wait
believe
a
it or not.
minute. What is solar?
The sun,
And what is the sun?
star.
Star Fox.
Oh my god!
Thank you very much.
Wow, you didn't even prep me for that, and I
Thank-
gave you exactly what you needed.
This is very good. I'm kind of sad that you're leaving now.
Goddamn.
Fuck. Yeah, the commercial is it's pretty intolerable.
There are like millions of them, Solar Fox. Like, what are we gonna do?
God, it's hurting my ears.
Solar Fox, the new video game where speed and strategy are all you have to fly through 26 changing solar fields. And if you're really fast,
Awesome.
you'll skip ahead to even tougher fields.
Really cool.
Solar Fox.
I know. The beginning of her voice sounds like a baby's
And
laugh.
she's watching him playing the game this whole time also. I should point
It's
that out.
yeah. So, and I'm pretty sure she was the.
She can't actually play it herself.
Now wait a minute. On behalf of the '80s, people actually sounded like that. That's no exaggeration. What you just had was a historical document.
like shrill.
Yes, that was kind of.
Can't use that at all.
Not in the first.
I was just going to roll with it. I just was
Not
going
in
to
the
get baited
first.
into
Not
it.
in the first segment.
Also, I'd like to point out, much like the Uncharted 2 commercial, this also has a woman eating popcorn while her boyfriend plays video games.
Awesome, because Solar Fox in its day was a movie.
Every
Solar
time-
Fox was
well-
the equivalent
well,
of
you have to
Uncharted 2
understand,
cinematic mastery.
If you understand, anytime you see a white square move across a green background, you might think it's a movie.
It's easily confused with the plot of Lost.
Now I want to play Solar Fox again.
As long as there's a
That makes one of us.
inkling of betrayal. Number 4, Ninja Gaiden 2.
Sigma 2.
Is it Sigma 2?
It says Sigma 2.
I think one of them is... Nah, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Ninja Gaiden 2, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2.
Boob
It was
fest.
just advertised solely on the backbone of tits.
Yeah, I don't like that. I mean, Dead or Alive obviously was fighting franchise was always sold on look tits,
Boobs.
look to boobs, and then Dead or Alive Extreme Volleyball obviously no question.
Oh,
Yeah.
we'll
And
get
then
rid there.
when Team Ninja started doing Ninja Gaiden, the first one, the Xbox one, was kind of like, no, this is super serious. Yeah, Rachel is a fucking walking sex joke with her leather and tits hanging out everywhere. But then, like, when this stuff starts happening, it's like your boob fetish is spilling into my serious ninja game,
Yeah.
and it needs to stop.
Well, it's like even the second one for Xbox was fairly serious and just like
Yeah.
really gory, and then this one is like, we're gonna scale back the gore and scale up the tits, in all senses of that word.
Right.
I'm
Which is
gonna-
weird, because in America, that's the reverse. Like,
Right.
we
No
have more
sex, all violence.
all violence is fine, but boobs, no. My child will be traumatized if he sees
But
one.
it's okay to stab somebody with a machete.
But this
It's
one was
preferred.
made more
Yeah.
for the Japanese audience is the thing that the perception is Americans want gore, Japanese gamers want boobs and less gore.
And I'm going to play devil's advocate and flip-flop during the next entry.
Excellent.
I don't think they could sell it on its merits. It's really pretty, and it's hard as fuck, and you'll probably get mad at it. Or tits. Or tits. And also, I like the fact, what I do like about it is that
The Blood Rain defense.
it didn't really care. It was ready to market at adults and say, nope, it's an adult game. We can market to our demographic. All we want is allowed on television.
True.
Technically, what we did is appeal to who we wanted, so shut the fuck up.
However, the ad in question, which I don't know if it really has
However-
audio that you can play.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. It's just guys touching tits.
Yeah, it's just a pair of tits sticking out of a wall and hidden camera footage of a bunch of guys wandering over like stunned toddlers to just sort of grope at them and see if they're real.
We're pulled in by the
Oh my
tracker
god.
beam.
Was this an American commercial?
I don't
I think
think
it was
so.
Japanese.
I don't think so.
But it's sexist regardless of what region it was
That's
running.
true. That's absolutely true.
So they just
I'm watching it now for the first
Yeah,
time.
so-
Yeah,
so it's
it's
dude-
literally just like hidden camera footage
Yep.
of a pair of white boobs on a white
And
wall.
if I can
Yeah.
spoil it for you, the very end flashes the logo of the game, and there is no gameplay shown.
Right, it's just
But the whole thing is, it's the gag is that there are a pair of hands up above the boobs, and it's supposed to be that like it's a ninja who's basically glued herself to the wall and is like holding up a sheet to hide
She's
behind.
stealthy,
but her
except-
boobs are poking.
I
out.
never got that because it didn't look.
And the boobs are like double H cups. These are like
Yeah.
ridiculously
they're size Tecmo.
awesome.
They're
I
Wow.
mean, far too large.
wow. In that amount of time, I was able to watch the ad, and it's like, so the game is about tits? Like, there's literally nothing.
Yeah, you have no idea. I mean,
Wow.
it's kind of a cheeky way to do it. If they're going to be that blatant with the game design, if you're just going to go like this, like sometimes we add a harder boss and sometimes we add harder gamers, and this time they were trying to make harder gamers.
And
So
Oh,
36
I get it.
triple itagaki breasts.
Yeah, triple itagaki.
But number 3, Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball. I absolutely resent who Tecmo thinks I am.
Yeah.
This is where it gets into. They think you're an idiot.
Yes.
Yeah. This isn't tongue in cheek anymore. It's appealing directly to your reptile brain.
It's not even sex. Like, he's willing to do anything to watch a fake tit.
Yeah.
Like, not just the funny point of the commercial, but this entire game is fucking useless.
Yeah.
I don't care who liked it. It's terrible. It's dumb. It had no reason to have Dead or Alive on it. Except
I know
for-
people who like the first one.
This
the,
is
the
what
second one was bad. The first one had.
shocking.
Uh,
But
just trying to. Anybody else play Dead or
All
Alive
I-
Extreme Beach
I
Volleyball?
did-
I did.
Did you like it?
I liked it, but I was totally into it for the titillation.
Yeah.
The actual gameplay mechanics left me wanting, but I have to admit, it totally worked on me. I was playing the game because I wanted to unlock new costumes and get the girls to like me. And,
Yeah, it was.
But then when I realized that that's all it was, I was like, I really wish it was a better volleyball game because I would have liked a good volleyball game.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like Super Dodgeball. I would have gone with. Did I tell you about the time my friend who had it, and I hated the idea of the game, and I hated the fact that the game existed, and he bought it, and he went to bed. I was at his house. His roommate was still awake, so I took out the game disc, and I placed the tray. I opened up the manual, took the cover, took the disc out, and I filled several tissues full of lotion and laid them out next to him without realizing his parents were in town visiting.
Yeah.
I know this sounds like a lie. I think he told me this just because he was so mad that his little brother cried. And if that's true, I'm giving myself one of these.
Yeah, way to go.
Yeah. Learn a little something from me. Who wants to go into number? Wait, do I have anything?
Did we
do.
play the ad for number 3?
No.
I got it.
Play with a friend or play with yourself.
I get it!
He means with my wiener.
But
I also got the end of this because I was gushing over Keith David the other day.
Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball. Tecmo. 100% games.
For hot beaches, there's no power greater than X.
Wow.
What did he say?
For hot beaches.
For hot beaches, there's no power greater than X.
Thank you, Arbiter.
Join the army.
No power greater than X.
Maybe.
Yeah, for hot beaches, there's no power greater than X.
All right.
Hilarious.
I'm trying to come along on that one.
Right, this one's even a little stupider.
God, the dude in this number 2 is Rumble Roses, too fat for a thong. And just this picture, obviously the YouTube video, which I'm sure we'll hear, but just the picture of the dude is the epitome of what I don't picture a gamer.
Mm-hmm. The only things that are missing,
I'm an Old Navy dude,
are like a pink polo shirt with a pop collar and a puka shell necklace.
Yes, a shell necklace. This guy needs a necklace bad.
And a barbed wire tattoo. Yep.
Or a Goldberg-esque, tribal tattoo.
And this hair spiked to the heavens.
This means I'm deep. This means I got feelings.
Yeah.
And here's what goes down. Dude's in a lingerie store with his lady, or I guess he's just wandering around a Victoria's Secret, learns
Like
he
you
can
do.
control women's mind.
You're not too fat to wear a thong.
You think I'm fat? What are you talking about? What am I? You want to go?
Amusing.
Get hot girls to wrestle on command.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Get it?
Cat fight.
And it is a game, right? Starring women.
Up in the ring or down in the mud, it's Rumble Roses, and it plays as good as it looks. Rated M for mature from Konami.
Just wanted to tell you, this is actually fun and not a pile of shit. Promise.
It does not play as good as it looks.
No.
But it looks
And
great.
the sequel plays even less well than it.
The sequel looks way better.
That's their ugly sister.
I want to keep moving. We got
Number 1.
It's
Juiced.
Drive-by stripping.
Juiced, and I gotta pat us on the back. We got nudity on the site now.
Yeah, it's age-gated nudity.
It is age-gated nudity, but we age-gate videos too, and I want more tit. And this is definitely, if all you have to do is do a little math, and you got your tits on GamesRadar.com.
But basically what this ad is for Juiced, a series that doesn't matter. And it's like two guys in a car who are like playing the game in their car and
On their dashboard,
on their
of course.
dashboard, which no one does, and they're like,
Except for douchebags.
Yeah, let me tweak these settings, yo, in my car, and then a girl walking by, it changes her miniskirt, and then it changes her shirt, and then what if I take all the pieces off the car? Basically, they basically rape this woman. I don't know, in a way.
They make her tits huge first.
Yeah,
And
it's a bad version of Scott Baio's Zapped.
Yeah, except with two douchebags in a car with scissor doors going with their controllers.
just like skirt size, take everything off.
Wow, yeah. So basically, they strip her and then sort of digitally spank her at the end of the ad. So that the juiced tattoo on her ass jiggles so slightly.
I was under the impression they were branding her with a juiced tattoo.
Oh,
because the game owns her now.
The tattoo is there, and then it's sort of like.
She's a piece of chattel, not unlike furniture.
It's like, on one hand, it's like, yes, it's a very effective ad, and everyone watching it would probably remember. Oh, remember that game with the tits?
With the really horrible ad?
Yeah, but it's like it does reduce what everyone. The thing is, that kind of commercial would air where most of the people seeing it are not like hardcore gamers. They're like the mainstream who already think that's what most gamers are.
Right.
Is a bunch of fucking ogling idiots.
Yeah.
And that all games are just big-titted women with blood and guts, and it's like, and you just proved them all right.
Juice, now featuring remote rape.
Yes, it's like, thank you for reducing my entire hobby to this to sell your shitty racing game.
Ventriloquist rape.
Yeah,
It would have been great if they were just both sipping hot coffee at the same time, just to put all of the horrible, horrible examples.
As the article points out, there aren't even any recognizable characters in Juiced. The cars barely even have drivers.
Yeah. But they can change colors.
That's true.
And the idea, like, this is a selling point of what, that you can change parts?
Yes, that you can customize your world.
Couldn't do that before 2002.
No, I actually thought
that was pretty much all Juiced had going for it, though. They were very proud that they had a lot of.
Didn't Gran Turismo do that?
I thought it was the pink slip angle. Like that was what. Juiced was
they were
about.
like, no, you can customize shit because I guess Need for Speed Underground had come out at that point, and Juiced was the also ran. So everybody like Underground had a pretty good customization system, and they're like, but ours is better because. It is. And also,
did you see the commercial?
Naked chicks.
What I remember being bragged about was it was the pink slip thing that you could race online. If you lost, you lost
your car.
Everything forever.
But if I can dip back into the past, Motor City Online had that.
Motor City Online.
8-9 years before.
How could I forget?
Yeah. I'm just saying.
How could I know?
Yeah, man.
It's not a guest appearance.
I just love the risk of possibly losing hours of work in a second. That's always great.
Yeah.
You must recover all the energy immediately, Mega Man.
Sorry, Brennan went off from last week.
Awesome comedy.
From last week because
classic.
I have a special prize that we can give away in honor of this.
Really?
In cleaning up my stuff, I actually found a sealed deck of DOA Extreme Beach Volleyball playing cards. Now, if you have played the game, you know that you actually get cards. And like you'll play in the casino, and the cards have the pictures of the girls, and they have the pictures of the swimsuits that you're supposed to earn.
Right.
I have a deck of these cards never used that I used to have on my desk. I found them at home, and I'm like, okay, so let's give it to a reader who can post...
who can't afford porn.
The most offensive, but most clever... slogan that they would give for Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball. So if you could write a marketing slogan for DOA, knowing now what you know about it, what would be your marketing slogan? The best slogan wins the.
Dead or Alive 2 Beach Volleyball, it'll make your cock sing.
Okay, so we have one entry.
1 inch.
Beat that.
Dan, I don't want you to go anywhere because when we get back,
not gonna go anywhere.
We're going to mention some new releases. I want to see what you were doing. I want to see what you've done. I want to see what you know. I want to see why the number in this podcast is special. And then hopefully we'll relate that all over to our community segment with a very few game deals. And a question of the week.
Yay! I got me a car. It's as big as a whale. And we're heading on down to the Love Shack. I got me a car. It seats about 20. So hurry up and bring your jukebox money. The Love Shack is a little old place where we can get together. Love Shack, baby. Love Shack, baby.
Hi, this is Bill Corbett of Mystery Science Theater 3000 and RiffTrax.com, and you're listening to TalkRadar. Did I say that right? TalkRadar, not the TalkRadar.
to decide of the games that I tried were not enough to waste my time on. I don't really see why you play COD and Fallout 3 felt so contrived. Don't understand why you play Rock Band, cause it's just one game that I get high on. Play it all the time, it's gaming redefined, copied it to my hard drive. Halo, this is all I play. Oh, I got my Halo, this is all I play. Oh, I always know when my ammo is low and a fast reload's what I rely on. On a killing spree, no one's as good as me through the campaign, and I haven't died. Come to believe that I'm better than Steve. When we play split screen, he gets his cry on. No one's beating me, challenge is what I need. Bet I would rule on Xbox Live. Halo, this is all I play. Oh, one player Halo, this is all I play. The more I talk, the taunts I throw, the more I let my ego grow. Halo, whoa, whoa. Conquered single player, so let's go online for Slayer and we'll go toe to toe. I'll obliterate you and you'll see me desecrate you when I teabag you slow. I'm a banshee lover, so you better run for cover, but there's nowhere to go. Play on legendary, baby, I'm so good at scary, man, you don't even know. Oh! Who would have known that I would get owned when I took my game on Xbox Live? Sword made of energy, whoops, now it's killing me. Two glowing blades are stuck inside. Everyone here makes me cower in fear. Maybe I should just go run and hide. What a lousy spawn, don't know what's going on. My every kill has been denied. Halo, this is all I play. Oh, I suck at Halo, listen what I say. The more I play, the less I know, the more I realize I blow it. Halo, whoa, whoa. Getting good on Slayer and it looks like single player set the bar way too low. Now my fate is sealed, I've run out of bubble shield and there's nowhere to go. Losing on Valhalla to a guy who really maulers, cause I move way too slow. Run through with their blades, getting stuck with the grenades that explode with a glow. I said, hey, yeah, ah, yeah. Where's my friends now? Hey, yeah, ah, yeah. Can't this end now? Running from a banshee up above, they always see me 'cause I'm slow down below. Flounder on foundation and I die on desolation where there's no carnage homes. Killed by a grenade from a kid in the 3rd grade. Well, he sounds 10 years old. Reputation shattered, but it kinda doesn't matter. From now on I play alone. I said, hey, oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm so dead now. Hey, oh yeah.
TalkRadar, bitches.
All of a sudden, I could feel 100% evil come over me.
I'm going to GamesRadar.com, the official website of the internet.
Can you dig it?
Stop it. This is the Podcast 80, the Dan Amrich podcast.
So were you
with
really
Dan Amrich doing 80 songs, bring us in and out. What do we hear?
That was...
what took us out?
That was actually, I was in an 80s band for about 5 years.
Fast
Times. Fast Times. FastTimes80s.com if you want to book them without me. And that was Love Shack and Centerfold. You can tell them apart by the one that was... Love Shack was the one where they kept saying Love Shack in it, and Centerfold was the one with the big
the
whale.
chorus goes na na na.
But I think I got in that band because I could do that Fred Schneider voice, and I could sing in it, and they were
This
like,
one?
"Yeah, that's all you have to do."
That's how we got the dinosaur toothbrush.
Dinosaur toothbrush!
What you have to do, Brett Elston, better than anybody, can type in Fred Schneider, which is like nothing I've ever seen before.
You capitalize in lowercase random letters.
Every other syllable. Oh, it's fantastic.
That's how we got
the complicated toothbrush.
That's how we got it. Real quick.
Complicated suitcase.
Complicated suitcase. Quick aside about that exact voice. I had to go into our boss's office, which rhymes. And he was there with the sales team, and they were like, "Oh, we're looking for things about TalkRadar and GamesRadar that show fan interaction and show like everybody liking."
Well, you have a lot of that,
and we have a lot of it in the podcast. So anyone listening, if you've been in the forums, like odds are your posts or your fan art in the fan art thread has been looked at by people way higher up than us.
They asked for fan art, and I think I just threw almost everything I'd ever had in a folder without thinking.
So what I did was I just said, well, just go to the thread. It's right here. And I showed them the thread. And then our boss's boss, and he's British, obviously.
Yeah.
And he just clicks on a random, it's 70 pages long, mate. It's too much.
Isn't that the ultimate endorsement?
Yeah,
it's
and
70
he just
pages
clicks
long.
Random page number. And then I just see him scrolling down, and in dead silence, I'm like, it's going to be the worst one. He's going to find the one that I'd never post. And he's just scrolling down, and I can see the street sign from far away. It just says dinosaur penis off ramp. and in the dead silence is my boss's boss with two sales team people in there, and it's just dead silence. Dinosaur penis.
And you had to be there.
And they have penises, right? They're reptiles. But what does that have to do with?
And I try to keep a straight face, like yeah. And I'm like, no. See, there was this thing with, the B-52s, right? And I'm trying to explain it's not going anywhere. And I'm like, no, trust me, it's really funny.
It's funny. It's just, maybe it's better you don't listen to our stuff, boss's boss,
Yeah, it was great.
Dinosaur penis off ramp.
Dinosaur penis off ramp. That's how Fred Flintstone gets home with his road construction.
There weren't many things to name roads after.
They ran
Nothing
out of
else
rock,
had been invented
out
yet.
of rock puns. I don't know. It's Slate Stone.
Slate Street, Stone Street, Pebble Street, Dinosaur Penis,
Dinosaur
off ramp.
We call that a dock. Yeah, big fat dock in your mouth.
That's a joke.
New releases. It was a joke. Good call. Good eye.
Good. Good hustle. Good hustle.
New
everybody.
releases this week. Scant. Good. Avatar. Avatar, which I believe the official title even has James Cameron's name in it.
Just so people might care.
What's that getting on Metacritic?
It has a 63 average at the moment.
Well, that's not bad for a movie. That's pretty standard for a movie.
That's actually exactly what I expected.
The thing that gets me is that's what everyone expected. Yet we were still at E3 treated to a $45 maybe an hour, 45 minute to an hour
Too long, however long it was.
Yeah, speech from James Cameron talking with just the logo behind him.
It wasn't about the game.
And it kept...
Yes,
it
it was.
No, it was about the technology that he and Yubi were working on.
It was also about the game, and
Yeah.
he kept reaching logical stopping points where he'd pause, and then I'd think, okay, now he's going to show us something of the game, and then he'd just keep talking. And it was just for however long it was.
Like 45 minutes.
Yeah,
it was
45
And
minutes.
just
It was just...
one man talking.
And here we are crammed into these little theater seats with like 6 bags because we haven't been to the hotel yet.
Everybody
and it's
trying to
just
simultaneously
fucking
get on the
hell.
internet at once, like the fucking Three Stooges.
Yeah, and
stuck in a doorway.
And no one can get online because everyone's service sucks, and there's too many people trying at the same time.
Right.
No
and
releases.
then Joel McHale comes out and says a joke.
Yes, brought it all
And
back.
then
Joel
comes
McHale,
out-
my good friend.
It
My good
introduces
friend.
Pele, and everybody's
Oh,
like,
God.
man, we have to
Pele.
tolerate whatever he says. He's awesome.
I only know he's a man because of the Genesis game.
He's the first and last name in soccer.
We also had,
Mr. Lee.
I guess, we have Rogue Warrior, which I may have misspelled. I wrote as Rouge Warrior.
It's not Rouge Warrior. It's
It's
not a
not Rouge Warrior?
transvestite.
No?
It's not a
Wow,
cross-dressing game.
Interesting story about Rouge Warrior.
I lived next to a bunch of Rouge Warriors.
Did you?
Yeah, kind of a halfway house full.
Rouge Warriors.
This is Jason the Wheels Warrior. This is why Dan's
No.
alive.
That was Dokken from Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh,
Oh, the Dream Warriors.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Oh, Dokken. I know.
Speaking of the 80s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, God, I can't wait.
I saw Rogue Warrior 3 years ago in Vegas when Bethesda was like, we got Oblivion money, bitches, let's spend it. And they just had a huge party. They're like, oh, we're also working on this game with Dick Marcinko. He wrote a book called Rogue Warrior. That's the last time I saw this game. And then it came out today. Or whatever.
I know they showed it at E3.
Like, it just disappeared into nothingness for 3
But
years.
we haven't had any preview opportunities, I don't believe. No builds have showed up.
Their big thing at the
You didn't have
time was
clearance.
like, it was a first-person shooter with like tile levels where like the center tile would be the same and everything else would be randomized in the multiplayer maps. So like you'd have the cores the same, but everything surrounding that would be different every time. And I don't know if that even happened because they didn't tell us this game was. They're just here. It is. It's out.
Whatever the case, it's averaging about a 43 on Metacritic
Yes.
right now.
Oh, no.
But
The only
Mickey Rourke does the voice of Dick Marcinko. That's the funny thing. Like they
Yeah.
licensed Dick Marcinko, didn't even use Dick
They didn't
Marcinko
use his
to
voice.
play Dick Marcinko. It's the wrestler.
Yet he was at that event, and he's publicizing the game now at GameStop. If you walk into GameStop right now, you'll see Dick Marcinko. I got a game called Rogue Warrior on the TVs they have.
He did he did an interview with OXM for
Oh, I
the
remember
burning
that.
questions thing, and he gave us straight answers like,
Yeah.
can you really climb into a the ducts of a thing? And can you really snap a guy's neck without making any noise?
Can you shoot a barrel and it blows
Can you shout?
up?
Yeah, and he gave us like really horrifyingly realistic answers to all these questions.
I think
He's
that
like,
was
you
the-
can,
Oh, was it
but
the-
you don't want to. You know, I mean, like
I think that was the Mass Effect 2 cover from a few, like,
Yeah, I
about
think so.
almost like 6-7
Was
months
that
ago.
when you were dispelling the myths of
Yeah, it was called Gaming's Burning Questions. It was just
Dude,
like all
that
the stuff you
shit
see
was
in game.
awesome.
It's up on OXMonline.com if
Oh.
you want to read it. It is, I mean,
I
it
knew you
is,
had
it
a
is a
hand in that.
fun thing. I also got my partner from Palette Swap Ninja, Jude. Is actually a chemistry professor and a rocket scientist, and he answered all of our science
Wow.
questions like portal guns, when do we get them, and lightsabers, and you know what about are zombies real, and is there a virus that can turn you into zombie? And he actually called
Said-
other experts to back him up on it. It was
And I remember, I
great.
think the zombie contagion was technically...
It's true.
It's feasible.
It's feasible.
The lightsaber, he said no.
Lightsaber because you can't get light to stop.
Wait,
at a point.
Here's what I'm saying. If you can get light to shoot out, I'm saying maybe a burst of air magnet, it shoots out a small mirror disc, laser, stops, laser sword, and then the first time you hit somebody...
move it, the thing goes away and you shoot light out. You slice through
But you
Cincinnati
get
accidentally.
one really good slice
Yeah,
before
it's
you
true.
obliterate the
Here's the
county.
thing, I don't think it's
Like
light. I
Bushido
think
blade.
it's suspended plasma.
Yeah,
That's
because
just
light
me.
wouldn't cut something.
Well, that
It
yeah,
also
he
wouldn't,
actually
it also wouldn't.
Let's be
stop
serious
when
for
it
a
hit
moment.
other plasma.
He does talk that there are laser swords based on exactly what you're talking about. Plasma charges sort of up and down, but it's very heavy. It's not the kind of thing that you can...
Like a vibroblade in KOTOR.
Yes, very much like a vibroblade.
Oh,
Okay, good segue. Call of Duty Classic. It comes out on PS3.
Ah, yes, that has people fighting in it. That's
Yeah.
an excellent segue.
Yeah, pretty much. Warfare. Good stuff.
Call of Duty Classic. Is this Call of Duty 1 for
It's
PC?
Call of Duty
as-
1 for 360, PS3, and it's like $15, I think.
That's a little much.
And it's remastered. They said in HD, so I guess it's I mean,
they've probably upgraded. Well, because like at the time it was like 640, 480, or 800 by 600 kind of game. It's
not that small.
And didn't you get? I thought you got that free if you got like the super de-duper version of Modern Warfare 2.
You did, and if you didn't buy the Prestige Edition or whatever it was, you can now download it for more.
Oh, excellent.
Speaking of,
there's no reviews. I can't find anything for it at all.
I remember it's going very well in 2001.
Yeah.
Speaking of Activision,
it is Infinity Ward, so
Activision, they stole something from us.
Stole is a strong word.
Dan, tell everybody you.
All right, so I haven't been on the show in like 4 months, and I was supposed to be on the show at some point in the last 4 months to talk about World of Warcraft, the magazine, which has since been renamed to World of Warcraft Official Magazine, which is unfortunate because our URL is worldofwarcraftthemagazine.com. Slight miscalculation. I haven't been coming on because, honestly, starting a magazine is hard. Starting a magazine that has full approval of Blizzard is even harder because they're very, very involved, which is great. As a fan, you want Blizzard to say this is a real deal. But unfortunately, it's just been murder and nothing's been approved. And I just haven't had any good news or anything concrete to say. You can look forward to the following things because everything still isn't approved. So it's taken so long that in the meantime, I have been wooed by Activision to go and work for Activision. I will be I don't know what my title will be yet, but it's the shortest way to say it is they said, we'd like to have our own kind of Major Nelson guy.
Right.
And would you be interested in being that Major Nelson guy? So I'm going to be doing community management, I suppose, but on a larger scale. I will have my own site. I'll have my own podcast. I will be doing video segments, and I'm moving to LA. From San Francisco here.
So happy for you.
How long have you lived in the San Francisco area?
I've been in San Francisco since 1996, the Bay Area, since
Wow.
96.
Did you
and
know?
I moved out from Brooklyn, so I've lived longer here than anywhere except for growing up at my parents' house until I was 21 or whatever.
Wow.
Moved out from college and whatnot. So
Did you know I was in high school in 1996?
I graduated high school in 1996.
I came out here for a startup magazine, actually, which was a horrible magazine that I did with Andy Eddy.
Oh, he's still around?
He is still around. He's the EIC of Team Xbox now.
Yes.
It was called Digital Diner. It was supposed to be like Rolling Stone for the internet or Wired for your mom. It was supposed to be this is back when they thought magazines about the internet was better than actually going on the internet.
Right.
And I accidentally sent a message to Andy instead of sending it to Zach Meston, which is another name from the journalism past, if you remember that. And they were friends, and he said, so... any friend of Zach Meston is a friend of mine. Here's what the information you're looking for. I was looking to pitch somebody at Wired magazine, and then I got my article in Wired, and he went, "That Dan Emmerich guy, I'm going to hire him," and he did, and I moved out here. So I've been here for 13 years, and I'm really going to miss it.
So how are you going to put a positive spin on the awful machine that is Activision?
Well, I guess the first thing I could say, I'm not on the clock yet. I'm not on the clock until January. So so
you've got
Here's the best thing to know. They know. I mean, it's one thing if a company doesn't know.
You should say it differently, like, they know!
Yeah, it's kind of like, they're aware that the forums are all a Twitter about every mistake that Activision makes.
Right.
And I know that by taking this job, I am putting a giant crosshair on my chest. Like, yes, it is my fault that there are no dedicated servers in Call of Duty. It is, everything that you can think of is going to be like, Amric,
Right.
But at the same time, what we've been talking about is totally a two-way street. Like, they're going to yell at you, but tell us, they just currently don't have this kind of channel where people can go. So they're like, look, we've got a lot of cool stuff going on in the building, but we don't have any way to tell people. And at the same time, people rage at us like out in anonymous forums because they don't feel like they have a way in. So, my role is supposed to sort of be your guy on the inside.
Right.
Like, so I really do want it to be a two-way street. And I know, making all the jokes about selling out aside, I'm actually really stoked for this because they're like, you've got to be you or else it doesn't work. And I'm like, okay.
I was going to say, it's strangely a perfect fit because I talked to Dan more about Guitar Hero and Tony Hawk than anybody in the building.
Yeah.
You are still pretty enthusiastic about those. Always have been.
I'm not a fanboy, but I've always liked a lot of Activision games. Interstate 76, one of my favorite games of all time,
because of their longevity. And I'm just reading now that they're finally And also, Activision swallowed up 1 billion companies.
Well,
so
yeah.
They have all the rights to all of this old stuff and rarely do anything with it, and are
Right.
finally getting on the digital download train. And we're going to start seeing a lot more classic Activision
I
stuff.
think you basically hit on why everybody hates them. My theory, one of my theories, I mean, yes, Activision makes mistakes. Every company makes mistakes. Activision makes pretty public, loud, large mistakes because when you're a really big thing, your mistakes hurt more. Like Gears of War had bugs in it, right? Oh, it's the end of the world because Gears of War had bugs in it. Well, every game has bugs in it, but more people were playing Gears of War at the time than anything else. So it seemed like, how could they possibly do this? It's like, well, your flaws are going to come out when a lot of people are looking at you.
Yeah.
When the minute that Activision bought out Blizzard, or merged, however you want to put it. I don't really know what my official line is supposed to be on that, but the minute they became Activision Blizzard, suddenly everybody that was bitching about EA and what a horrible, evil empire EA was, and they're horrible, blah, 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 suddenly EA was off the hook simply because they were not the largest company, third-party publisher, and it's the Microsoft effect. It's whoever's number one, whoever's on top is who you're going to aim for, and it's totally natural. But it was amazing to see suddenly people that were screaming and yelling about EA suddenly gave them, well, man, they got behind Mirror's Edge and they got behind DICE, and you know they're helping market Rock Band, and suddenly everything like small that they had done that was also worth trumpeting that they wouldn't have trumpeted before. Now it's like stupid Bobby Kotick and he's an idiot and they just want my money and he doesn't play games, and it's just like, yeah, I mean, some of the things that they've said have been really horrible to hear. You know,
I think part of the problem with that was like at the same time EA was
kind of rehabbing their own
EA
image.
was saying, let's do new IPs, not yearly things, and then Kotick says, annual franchises only at the same time, and you're like,
yeah,
well,
and that's
Activision.
not an exploitable franchise.
Yes,
I mean,
he
like
uses
his greatest
words.
hits.
Yeah.
He used exactly the wrong words because he's talking and thinking like a businessman.
Right.
And I think to a certain extent, they're like,
you should stop saying that to gamers.
Right. Well, he was saying it to bankers, but gamers were quoting it.
Yes.
And I think that was part of the problem. Was just sort of like,
That's a weird way of putting it, because I do speak to people I'm pitching stuff to differently than I would
right.
the people I'm writing for.
You know, the most recent sort of outburst of weird stuff, like I've taken all the fun, you know, we here at Activision have taken all the fun out of developing video games.
Right.
He said that to a room of German bankers. And I'm sorry to be an apologist already, but when I heard that, I was like, I think I know what he means. You know, he took over the company in 1990, and in the olden days of Atari, I'm not kidding, cocaine and hot tubs.
Right.
That was the video game industry in the late 70s, and he's telling a bunch of very serious German bankers who want to know that their money is safe that we don't do that anymore. We're a real business, and we keep people on their toes, and we, you know, a fear and uncertainty, which are good things to have in
look
business.
at you go, man.
No. I understood it immediately, and then I knew it's like, they're going to say he's a shill, they're going to say he's a sellout, but like that's part of it is context.
Right,
and,
obviously.
But yeah, like, I can't think, I mean, as much as I know, like, there's Activision games that I feel very strongly for. Pitfall was a huge deal for me when I was a kid.
So relevant.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's my Activision. I go way back.
Right.
They also bought and swallowed Infocom. You know, and you guys know how I feel about old text adventures. But so there's a lot. What I'm saying, yeah, River Raid's a great game. There's a lot of good in Activision, and they just don't have any way to say, please don't hate us. So I'm kind of hoping. I'm kind of hoping that
it was a press release for, was it Good Old Games?
Yeah,
is releasing a lot of old Activision games. Like,
are they? That's fantastic.
I didn't associate Activision with any of these games anymore because I only think Activision, Giant Box, and Best Buy.
Yeah, exactly. A stack of unsold Tony Hawk rides, a stack of increasingly dusty DJ Heroes.
Well, yeah,
the $120 price point, and people saying, you know, $60 is a bargain for games. You should be paying more for our games. And you just hold your head and go, oh man.
I think I showed you the thread that we have in GamesRadar.com/forums of just unsold DJ Hero, Guitar Hero, Band Hero. Just this Christmas season, Activision's just decided, well, we own this aisle
in retail,
and no one will buy. So 3 different $120 bundles.
So am I being hired to apologize for all that stuff? No. But in the same way that, like, when I came onto OXM. It was a disaster in our forums because OXM had forums over at Team Xbox and it was all very happy, and then slowly Future had gotten onto Microsoft's good side enough to say, look, we're part of the official family, we should be on the official forums on Xbox.com. And they worked that out, but unfortunately nothing was told to Team Xbox. So literally one day they were like, guys, we're going to be leaving. They flipped out, they flipped the switch, everybody on Team Xbox hated us, and then we came, because they just the forum disappeared overnight, and they felt betrayed. There was no warning, and I come in 6 months later, and I'm the only guy talking, and they're like, "You guys suck, and this magazine is all crap." And so instead, I took everybody seriously, and I decided to answer their questions. This magazine is all advertisements. Well, actually, here we're going to break down the math. And this magazine is 65-35. Here's how magazines work. And I started explaining, this is why you see all these ads. This is where the money goes. I pay your salary. I'm like, actually, you don't. You pay 1/10 of my salary. Here's the math of how advertising ad pages pay the wages. Is an old joke in the industry. And I just started telling them things that are not really trade secrets, but that nobody had stepped up and said, this is the other end of the thing. And slowly, the haters shut up. So I'm a really big believer in, look, let me tell you a little bit from my perspective so that you just understand. You don't still have to agree. I'm not asking you to agree. I'm just saying there are reasons for why things happen, and you can feel that your reason is a more important reason, but knowing that reason may help put it in a different context. So, and I actually like doing that. I like fighting on the forums and having a discussion.
But you're also
in that way.
one of the more, I don't know, what would you call that?
That said,
you're more in touch with people. I've heard a lot of people who are like,
well, I like talking to people.
I didn't hear that until Brett recently, that he submitted you stuff before he got a job here.
Yeah.
And you looked at it, and you gave him feedback. And
if somebody
I'd love
writes
to do that. I never really.
Yeah.
I try to. You're like one of the only people who do.
Oh, let's not be polite to him yet.
Okay,
we'll get to that.
A lot of people have written to me and said, "I want to. How can I get your job and stuff like that?" Or will you? And I've said okay, and I've wound up hiring some of those people. Mitch Dyer, he totally was like,
"No, Mitchy D."
Yeah, just like a fan, and he just politely asked one day, "Hey, I've always wanted to do what you do," and I'm like, "Send me a writing sample. Like, if you're not a dick, and if I have the time, I will definitely offer some advice." But
you are all a Twitter on Twitter.
I don't. Yeah, but regardless, I don't believe that my job for Activision will be an apologist or an excuse maker, and I think that honestly, Activision understands that this is what I do.
If you're
I talk to people, and they still want me to talk to people as me. So the term that was used when I was down there talking with them was in-house journalist. So to a certain extent, I'm going to be doing what I've always done: features on, like, we're going to go interview this developer, I'm going to meet this team, or show you what's going on behind. Honestly, and I know people are going to say it's a cop-out and you're a sellout and whatever, honestly, that is what I want to do. I want to be like, I'm here, I can show you stuff that you wouldn't see otherwise because the media is too busy covering a million things. My beat is Activision, and I've got access to these people. I'm going to be going around, I'm going to be interviewing them, showing you games and stuff. It's the same shit that, like, I used to do in the media, except that now I'm just doing it sort of focusing on Activision as if I were a beat reporter for Activision. And yes, I'm going to be paid by Activision. So, but they're not, I don't know. We will see how it works out. But honestly, they told me all the stuff that made me not even have to pitch them on what I wanted that position to be. They get it.
If you're using the Major Nelson comparison, like, he doesn't spend any time apologizing for things. He just delivers a lot of honesty. We're working on it.
Right. Like, when something's screwed up, he'll tell you, here's how it's going to be fixed, and here's when it's going to be fixed. And I think, I want to be the conduit for information. I know that people are going to hate on me anyway, but you know what? Okay, you're going to hate on me because people are going to. But people are going to do that, and I accept it. But if you don't hate on me, I might be able to give you some of the information that you would actually feel better about. That's all. That's what I'm hoping it will be.
So will you still talk to us when you're famous and on Xbox Live dashboard?
I'm not going to be famous. If I were going to be famous, it would have happened by now. It would be great to have a Wikipedia page. That would be the
right. But I can see
that wasn't deleted after 3 weeks, like the last one.
But like comparison, I can see trying to get Major Nelson on here and just being no.
Major Nelson's actually pretty cool. I went to him and I wrote him and I said, "Hey, dude, you may find this funny and or flattering, but I'd like to ask your advice because I'm going to be doing a similar role. I'm not going to do what you do the way that you do it. I can't do that.
Right.
But I'm also going to be doing more of like, here's this week on the blog, the thing, like the site that we'll be launching, I'm going to be writing articles, where Major Nelson doesn't really do that. He does a lot more video. I think I'm going to be doing both, but I'll probably be doing more articles.
So you're better than Major Nelson.
No, I'm...
yes, that's what I'm hearing.
So I mean, I will still talk
yes,
to you
I am
guys.
better than... Say it. Say it with me.
Yes, I will. I will still be happy to come on to TalkRadar, even though there is a collectible card of me saying I will never again appear on this podcast, and here I am.
Yeah.
That, by the way, thank you, Twishart. That was one of the. I believe it was Twishart that did.
No,
was it Creative Assassin?
It was Creative Assassin.
Oh, was it Creative Assassin? Oh, I thought
Critical
it was Twishart.
Condition.
No, I'm sorry. Well,
I don't want anybody to hate on Dan Emmerich because
it's going to happen.
No. It will not happen.
I
Not
will
from-
defend
not from our
myself,
people.
and I don't know what the name of the site is going to be. I know it'll
What
start
about-
getting going in January, and hopefully people will just check it out and take it for whatever.
What
it
about
is, but-
Amric Vision?
Amric Vision is probably not in there.
What
yeah.
about
no.
Bam Ramdick?
I'm Bam Ramdick is.
What about just Balls Deep Vision?
And I
Balls
saw
Deep Vision.
I saw something on Twitter.
I was thinking Apology Vision. Okay,
I saw something on Twitter. Some guy talking to you. I never said PR is where journalists go to die. I said it's where journalists go to thrive.
And then they die.
I never said that.
But there is, there are a lot of people that have, let's say, my years, who slowly sort of wind up outside of, and they move on to either producing games or doing
Parties
some sort
and
of
pitches.
community management is a very common transition. But I think
Cocaine
that
and hot tubs.
no, Twitters and Facebookery.
Twitters and Facebook.
But I do think that I've kind of hit the jackpot because it's such a high-profile position at a very successful company
I think they hired the
that
right
trusts
guy.
me. I mean,
I've got to start considering cocaine.
Hey, seriously,
I've
so
just
good.
had a Monster Assault drink. And that's it. Monster Assault, which you may have seen, Modern Warfare 2.
It's a hell of a drug, I hear.
I don't know. You know me. I'm ridiculous. That's the funny thing. I've probably done less than everyone in this room.
No way.
I've never even smoked pot, guys. I'm so Mr. Straight Edge.
I
I've been
have
offered, and I'm
not
like,
either.
I just said no. I've just never wanted to do that. Caffeine, sure.
And you pull out whatever system you have on hand and say,
Pot.
"This is my anti-drug, the Wonder Swan."
The Neo Geo
The Wonder
Pocket
Swan.
Color is my wonder.
No, just
is
my,
my anti-drug. Now
my-
it's your Neo Geo Pocket Color. I believe.
I have it now, thank you
God,
very
we
much.
all picked Ram Damrick's bone.
Yes.
Today. You poor dear.
Well, I'm moving to LA, and what I realized I have is 16 years of old games because
my
I've been
God.
doing this since I've been writing professionally since '93, which is before a lot of you, had pubes, and I'm now realizing, oh my God, I've carried Sega CD.
Since what year?
Since 1993.
Okay, all right.
October 1993. I got my.
I love your specificity there.
Dude, I remember because it was like every kid's dream wants to write about video games or do something about video
October
games. Right?
'93, man.
My
I
first-
couldn't wait to play Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Yeah, my first review was my first free game was Total Carnage for the SNES. That I
I
actually,
love
like,
it.
I reviewed and they said, "No, you don't have to send it back." I'm like, "Really?" And my first EEPROM was Eternal Champions for Genesis.
Wow.
So, pretty.
Which EEPROM is?
Sorry, these were cartridges that had interchangeable chips that they would send out for review before the finalized plastic cartridge. It's just a naked circuit board that you would shove in your SNES or Genesis. And I had heard about these being an Atari fan. I knew that EEPROMs existed.
Yeah.
And then when I was actually able to hold one, I was like, oh my God. So yes, I go back to the Jurassic era. Only Andy Eddy is older than me.
You bored Chris back to his iPhone.
Oh, hi, sorry.
Not the case.
So all right. So
not the case, but it was.
I'll
Not
stop.
the case.
You asked
Hold
me
on,
now.
and I'm only going to plug this for a second. We did an article today on greatest multiplayer maps.
The greatest multiplayer maps.
One of my best friends in the world, MB. I like the multiplayer article entries, at least due in part to almost all of those battles took place in my parents' basement that I was writing about, and he's absolutely right. All of that stuff I had played with him, and that was just heartwarming because I did not send that to him.
Right.
Anyway,
that's cool. Go look at it. The greatest multiplayer maps of all time on GamesRadar.com.
Yeah, should cover something you like. I wanted to quiz you, Dan, given that it was 80, and you're a big fan of the 80s.
Yes, I am.
1980.
I'm a child of the 80s.
What's the number one movie?
Number one movie in 1980?
You don't
Christ.
get this. You will really. Oh, it'll hurt.
I would guess a very obvious one.
I would guess a very obvious one
because
too.
I know my dates.
Probably Empire Strikes Back.
Dan Emmerich, it is. It is.
Which I you bastards. I was old enough to see Star Wars and Empire in the theater.
Really?
Yeah, but then my mom would not take me to see Jedi. We went to see War Games, which again, a great geek film to see.
Good.
I was
nice
2 months
geek
old.
cred,
For the
but
longest,
instead of Jedi,
you might like
Jesus.
this. The first Star Wars movie I saw was Jedi because I was alive when that movie came out. And
I wonder what the backstory is.
And I thought for the longest time I never saw Star Wars. I saw Empire maybe like 6 years later. I saw Jedi over and over and over again.
Right. Yep.
And Star Wars, I thought for the longest time, yeah, it takes place in the present, right? I thought it was the Last Starfighter.
Oh yeah,
like
kid in a trailer park.
Yeah, I thought
it's kind of the same story when you think about it.
I thought that was Star Wars. Kind of embarrassing. Dan Emmerich, what were you? You know what you were playing in 1980?
Yes, in 1980, I was playing Gorf.
Gorf is correct. I looked it up. The games that were out in like 1980 seemed like variations on Pinochle. Like I'd never heard of any of the titles.
Space Invaders had been out for 2 years in 1980, so I was like, that was the most magical thing in the world. If you can imagine what it was like to play and Asteroids was in 1980 as well, and Asteroids was pretty awesome.
I saw something about Pac-Man. I didn't think Pac-Man was 80.
Pac-Man was 1980 in Japan, but it didn't come to America until 81.
Fucking Namco.
Namco.
I remember going to like computer fairs, at the library when these computers were brand new things, and somebody brought a Space Invaders clone there, and everybody went nuts. But Pac-Man, I played in New York City for the first time.
Here's an arcade-related question. Like most of our memories of arcades, which if you're under probably 25, you don't remember them at all.
Right. It's Chuck E. Cheese or nothing.
or a Walmart vestibule.
Right.
On a good day.
I'm going to Kmart. You stay here next to the bubblegum machine.
What did your arcade have?
Cruisin'
USA.
Cruisin' World.
Cruisin' World.
Oh God.
Poor children.
Yeah. But even when I was old enough to be able to go to an arcade unsupervised, just like, no, drop me off, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
It was all mostly fighting games,
right?
Because it was like early 90s, mid 90s. What was it like, since this is the last time you'll really be able to just talk forever about old shit? Like, what was it like being in an arcade where like every game was a new idea?
It was
where it was like, this is Asteroids, this is Pac-Man, this is Pitfall, but
Well, there was Pitfall 2.
Okay.
They actually
each game was actually different instead of trying to capitalize on what the popular thing
Honestly,
was.
a lot of that was Atari. Atari had a rule: no sequels in the early days of the coin-op stuff. Nolan Bushnell said, "There's not to be any sequel. Every game should be a fresh idea.
Wow.
Whatever you have to do to get it done, get it done."
Jesus Christ!
That's why you have like color vector graphics and things like that. I was 10 when Pac-Man came out, and I remember I was a child actor, so I would go on like auditions and stuff.
Really?
Yeah. There's commercials of me out there on YouTube. I'm not going to say what they are.
Just bragging away.
No. I'm saying there's some embarrassing shit out there, too.
Dan,
this is not exactly what you want to open with. The point is, I would go to New York. I was living in New Jersey, in the suburbs of New Jersey, and, hanging out at the bowling alley and to play games in the pizza parlor.
I know what you're talking about.
Pac-Man was, I guess I was 10. And it was at Station Break in New York City. Now, I don't know if anybody out there remembers Station Break, the greatest fucking arcade in New York City. Somebody digitally recreated it as a front end for MAME. I almost cried. I wrote an article about the front end, and I couldn't believe it. So if you can imagine...
No, that would be really cool.
This was back in, like, the cool days of arcades was when it was just neon lights. That's all there was.
There were no lights.
It was just recessed lighting, and all you could see was the game screens, and it was just a beautiful cacophony. To this day, I find that calming. It's like going back to the womb.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean.
5 Pac-Man machines lined up next to each other, 5 people deep, waiting to play politely.
Lord. Jesus.
And I was like, "What's this?" My dad's like, "I don't know." He's like, "We should get in line and see what it is." and I had to wait 25 minutes to play Pac-Man, and it was transcendent. So it was amazing because a new game would come in and you would have no idea how to play it. It would not play anything. Solar Fox would not play like anything except Targ. But there were rip-offs where because you grew up in the fighting games era. I grew up in the cute games era. Pac-Man kicked it off.
Right.
And then it was like Make Tracks. It was Mappy. It was all these
good shit.
It was all these adorable like little cutesy video games. And then there was always space shooters. There was always
how you got Mario and Donkey
Space
Kong.
Invaders to Galaxian to Galaga to Missile Command was and they were everywhere. They were absolutely everywhere. It wasn't just the bowling alley and pizza place. You go to a diner, there's one there. You go to a doctor's office, there's one there.
What?
Some doctors had them in their waiting room to keep, especially the ones that dealt with a lot of kids, so that they would be, sort of just like chilling. They were never on free play because the doctors are not stupid.
Right.
But you would find them everywhere. Obviously, there was an arcade at the mall. If it didn't have an arcade, there might be like 3 or 4 at the movie theater.
Yeah.
I went to see Tron in the movie theater with my mom, and I came out, and there's the Tron video game, day and date.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was, it's absolutely, Mom, I need a quarter. She's like, absolutely, I'm giving you a quarter because we just saw that. That's great, So, it was amazing to walk into an arcade and have 20 different games, and none of them were a Street Fighter ripoff.
Right.
And it was beautiful. I think it's why people feel so strongly about the old days because it was nothing but innovation. It was completely... You would build a 400-pound piece of MDF or plywood to do one thing.
Right.
Play Tempest. What do you need? Well, I need a color vector monitor, which is a technical nightmare to make in the first place, and a spinner and a button. But then, like, Robotron would be next to it with 2 joysticks and no buttons.
Yeah, nothing was the same.
It was all just like, whatever the fuck I need to make this game work, I'm going to do it. And, Star Wars? We'll make a Star Wars vector arcade game, and it'll have some completely bizarre, fucked up, driving controller that they developed for the military, and the military decided they didn't want it beyond that.
Tangible U-Force.
Yeah, exactly.
And then like a submarine goggles to go over.
Yeah, Subrock 3D and Battlezone.
It's
and,
the game that you kick.
Yeah. So it was before gimmicks. None of these were gimmicks. They were just like, well, this is the best way to do it. And
how much of this is your rose-colored glasses for that era, and how much is?
Well, I mean, I go back to old games now, even on the original hardware, and I go, that's boring as fuck. You know, some of it was just like, thank you for that evolutionary step, but that's what it's best remembered at. But I'm sorry, Galaga and Robotron still kicks my ass. I have trouble getting past level 10.
Robotron, I didn't even play it until a couple years ago.
Last
year.
It's fascinating. And when I've interviewed, other developers and stuff, I'm like, so, what's your favorite game? They're like, well, we're kind of addicted to the Robotron that's in the lunchroom. They're like, because that game still kicks my ass. And I, every year I go to this Classic Arcade Expo down here in San Jose area.
Yeah.
And one year Eugene Jarvis came to speak about the design of Robotron and how they came up with it. And one guy had the balls to stand up and say, why did you make it so fucking hard? And he looked at him and he goes, it's not fucking hard. Learn how to play, bitch. It was fucking, it was amazing. It was just like, some of it is rose-colored glasses. But honestly, that period from 78 to 82, so much innovation. You gotta give it up.
Delicious Gerber food in that.
I didn't.
Nothing like stewed prunes, baby.
I didn't listen to majority of that.
Okay, that's fine. No,
I'm just kidding.
The thing is, you talk about Pac-Man, and you have these wonderful memories of this game. I think about Pac-Man, and the first thing I think of is Pac-Man vitamins and how terrible they were.
Yeah, I understand. I know that it's different for me than it was for others.
I was only.
I think of Pac-Man SpaghettiOs.
Yeah, I ate those. Yeah.
I think of the Pac-Man
I had
Christmas
the cereal
special.
too.
That awful cartoon character.
The cartoon
like this,
dude. I remember Marty, whatever his name was. Who was the guy that did the voice of Pac-Man on the cartoon? That was such a huge deal when ABC landed the Pac-Man thing. They had this was back when Saturday morning cartoons mattered.
Hanna-Barbera ruled the world.
Yeah,
with
and they had
awfulness.
a preview night where they were going to show you 10 minutes of.
I remember those.
Oh my God, Pac-Man one was an hour long, and they showed you 30 seconds of Pac-Man at the end of an hour of having to watch the fucking Snorks and whatever else, Turbo Teen and
Yogi blows a horse.
Yeah, Yogi blows a horse. Short-lived for some reason. Wait a minute, did you mean this is actually we thought it was like his inflatable pal?
Well, at the end of every episode, he'll have a reason to blow that horse.
Yeah, and the kids will learn something before they're done about horse fellatio.
Then Huckleberry Hound will walk in on them and turn to the camera and say, "Shucks, y'all," and then Iris.
And then shoot himself in the So yes, I admit that I come from a different era of gaming, and maybe some of it is.
That's what I was trying to segue into. I was not trying to interrupt you.
You can. You should.
Hold on. Listen to this. I have in possession a Dan Amrich arcade anecdote.
What?
My memories of playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were not only in an arcade cabinet. I never got into the NES one, but my strongest one is getting almost to the end of the game while wearing roller skates in a roller rink that was Jay Giles' band.
Oh God,
and
yes. And I can tell you the other games that were in that arcade. I remember Meat Space. I remember arcade layouts very, very well, and that's one of the reasons why I remember
Dan is a sweet, sweet boy, it's because we were like, we're going to do a podcast, and he's, Dan, will you come on? He's like, yeah, I'll come on. It was terrible. It was a train wreck. It's still on the internet for you to listen to, although I don't recommend it.
No, at the time, I thought
episode one or two.
This is episode one. Here's Dan's first word.
Sexy. And who do we have on the line? Me? Hi, I'm Dan Amrich from Official Xbox Magazine.
Yeah, I just wanted to note your hi.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
It's like it's like my Big Bird clip from Sesame Street game.
Yeah.
Hi.
I'm the Big Bird of gaming.
Sexy. And who do we have on the line? Hi, I'm.
It's uncannily similar. Jesus.
But having not listened to the first podcast since I think we edited it.
Which took a whole day.
It took 3 people standing around a computer in 2 days. It was a lovely. That's a lovely little passionate story.
It was. It was a fun day.
And you were like, "How do you do this?" I'm like, "I don't care. I'm at OXM."
Yeah, he was like, "You want to come in the room?" He's like, "No, I'm going to stay over here."
Yeah.
Dan was not in the room, and it's unlistenable, and it's so embarrassing to hear. I'm so glad we got rid of Skype.
Yeah.
Just listen to this clip and tell me what's wrong with it.
I still think that one of the reasons that everybody loved Final Fantasy VII, and I think it's a very base reason. Not only, yeah, you're right, it was the first like serious, deep Japanese RPG that a lot of people got into. Played it.
Excuse me, can you not leave the room and open the fucking door in the middle of my anecdote?
This is on the record. This is our first. This is our first podcast. I found a nice little precursor to who you are and where you went.
And what are you all playing this weekend?
What do you think? GTA.
Yeah.
That's how old this is. GTA had just come out.
Which GTA?
GTA 4.
Oh, all right.
So this was
So long ago in May of 08.
What is Dan playing?
I just rebuilt my PC, so I'm going to be playing WoW. I love running 4-year-old games on, like, whip cracking hardware.
Wow. If only I had known. I was so foreshadowed.
But Brett and I both talked about this. We wanted to grab it because we didn't know what the fuck we were doing.
Yeah.
Not that maybe we do now, maybe we don't.
It looks good now.
But you
looks good.
I think we cut a lot of it out, and I don't know where the raw file is. But you're constantly coaching us. No, you want to keep talking about that.
Was I? Did I?
Yeah.
Did I really just step up and be like blah blah blah?
You were gently directing us like you shouldn't go out of order here. You should stick to the format.
Say who you are. Say where they can find the podcast now.
And we're like, why?
This is called signposting.
Here,
I want to play Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah. Banjo-Kazooie looked good. I don't mean to derail, because I know he wants to say something about Hellboy, but yeah, Banjo-Kazooie.
It was
desperately trying to
Michael was trying to
5
organize
different conversations going on at the same time.
Organize our podcast. There's not a lot of. I don't think there's a lot of running jokes, but this literally still came up.
Me on Boxback. That's
last week. It came up. It comes up all the time.
Is this guy bothering you? Do you want me to help you? Because I can help you. It's no problem.
My horrible Nico Bellic?
Yeah.
Yes, no problem has become an ongoing thing.
I had no idea.
It's no problem. It has a spelling.
So is this my legacy? Are you?
Yes.
This is your
I'm going to be a.
No, we use it in casual conversation with each other.
Yeah.
Oh, it's no problem.
It's no problem.
And
I had no idea. I was
just for the hell. I love the first ending because it's so fucking ramshackle and cute. And
I'm trying to come up with an ending.
There isn't one. I just let it fade out.
Hey, go to music in mid-sentence.
Okay.
Just cut
You should
it off.
probably give the.
That's awesome. It was the right thing to do. It's still funny now. 80 weeks later, it's still funny now.
I do. Again, we're helping you out here. You do not have to listen to this. And the audio was so bad. We went back to one of our favorite shows, the TalkRadar 20.
Oh God, I love it.
Which was all the cheesy game music one, which you stood in for. You had everybody was on fire. So many great lines. The audio is terrible. But I remember Rising Zan came on. That's what I wanted to go get. And you belted out the best Rising Zan. Rising Zan! Samurai Gunman?
Yes.
I am not, because this is the one, like, this will still make Brett giggle just thinking about it.
Oh my God.
Because we kind of surprised you with one of our favorite songs, You Are Dead. And...
What game is that? What game is it from?
From Total Distortion.
Total Destruction.
Total Distortion.
Which I found out I have. I have a copy of that stupid thing.
And it's like 3 minutes game over song.
Yeah,
it's a 3-minute game over song that's just
with different verses.
You are dead.
And Dan's reaction, I think Brett and I, it makes both of us laugh. You knock off your headphones, and you can hear you cackling in the background.
Yeah, listen
it's one
for
of my favorite Dan
listen
clips.
for a high pitched.
You are dead, dead, dead. You are dead. Thought you were hot. Guess what? You're not.
It already passed.
You are dead.
It's so bad. It's still awesomely
It's just
bad.
because that was the first one I ever edited, and as I'm listening to it, I
you hear.
It took me minutes to get past just that of like, like the idea that you're laughing that hard and loud.
I had never heard it, and I played that game, and it's just I couldn't believe that you would release something with that in it.
Well,
oh my God!
Oh,
you know,
Lord.
we've talked nicely about Dan, but I guess everybody probably knows what time it is.
Is it time to throw me under the bus?
Oh, it is time for the Dan Emmerich Rose, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, shit. Oh.
It will be time.
It'll be hilarious.
Dan Emmerich. Dan Emmerich is the man of the hour. Dan, this is my roasting voice in case you...
You sounded like an unemployed stand-up comedian.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Daniel, that's not very nice, but whatever. We are here to honor a man whose contributions have been instrumental to GamesRadar.com.
There's a script. You've got a script. You're serious about this.
Official Xbox magazine.
Dan, you're not going to be happy at the end of this.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And World of Warcraft Online official publication.
The magazine.
The magazine.
Maybe that's the URL we can get now, because that's longer.
And that's just during the time I've known him. Dan has been in this business a long time.
How long has he
been in the business?
Well, Dan Emmerich's been in the business so long, the first game he ever covered was an exclusive to a Baccarat table. Ladies and gentlemen, a Baccarat. Dan's not laughing. Dan's probably not laughing.
You are dead. Let me
Dan's not laughing. Dan is... all he cares about is old school games. His flux capacitor is a 1978 arcade cabinet. The man only bought a widescreen TV so he could turn on its side and play Galaga long screen the way it was meant to be.
That's fucking not a joke.
And, yeah, it's true.
That's funny because it hurts.
Dan is so stuck in the 80s, the first thing he tried to take down in his cubicle was the Berlin Wall. Ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Ladies and gentlemen. Dan is also very into music. Very, very into music. Played in the band Fast Times, not at Ridgemont High, non-exclusive Ridgemont High. Palette Swap Ninja, which is most famous for with you listeners. Dan Emmerich's Palette Swap Ninja music is so bad. YouTube sent him a cease and desist order. People on iTunes don't review it in stars, but in black holes.
Well, it took me a second.
Fine,
because that's what happens to stars, you see.
Hey, maybe I'm not doing that well. Let's bring up our next... We'll bring up our next man on the dais. Up next, we have our own video editor, Joe McNeely, who makes videos so bad, the next GamesRadar update will allow you to record over them. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe McNeely.
Oh, that's good.
McNeely, senior editor at GamesRadar. I first met Dan 8 years ago when I started interning at GamePro. Back then, he was called Dan Electro, and he had blue hair and his own action figure. Let me tell you, Dan Emmerich has been in this business so long that his first magazine was carved on a stone tablet.
Dan, he's giving it to you, buddy.
Wow, that
Dan,
one.
He's so old, I asked him if he wanted to play beer pong. He took out a roll of quarters.
Dan.
In his office, it's like the Smithsonian of Ghostbusters toys. How many Ecto-1s does a grown man need, for Christ's sake?
Right.
Oh, snap! Where did all these people come from? It's shoulder to shoulder in here.
Seriously, though, Dan is one of the most talented people I've ever had the pleasure of working with. And what's more, he's exceedingly generous with his talent. When I was coming up as an intern, Dan always had a minute to help me refine my craft, and I was thrilled when we had the chance to work together again on GamesRadar. So thanks for everything, Dan. I'll miss you.
Aww.
You're not supposed to be nice to me at a roast.
You'd be nice at the end.
You'd be nice at the end. That's the formula of a roast. That's why I'm using this voice.
I see.
Dan, I don't know if you've ever seen a roast before.
Man, I don't know. But they're cheesy, comical relics. And you're supposed to talk like this.
Like me, cheesy comical relics of a bygone era.
Later, you're going to take a trip down the Double Dare Sunday slide.
Holy shit, you're that guy from Double Dare.
Well,
it's the Mark.
Wow. He's going to win a Ford Bronco 2. Mark Summers, Ford Bronco 2. Coming along with that, he's going to take home an edition from Game Tech. You're going to home edition. Game Tech.
You're going to Space Camp.
We're all old.
I'm exceedingly intoxicated. My face hurts.
Oh, I was.
Wow. Me too.
Ugh.
Your face hurts me too.
I don't have a Charlie intro, but I'm going to use the one I wrote for Henry instead. Next up, we have a man who's such a comic book nerd and so devoid of physical prowess, Sam kicks him in the face. Ladies and gentlemen, Charlie Barrett.
Oh, that's good.
I'm not here to ridicule Dan Amrich. I'm here to defend him. Some people like to joke that Dan is old. That's not very nice. I prefer to think of Dan as a museum, a classic frozen in time, but also big, dusty, and filled with trivial knowledge that no one really cares about.
True. Some of it's true.
It's all true.
Some of it's true.
Some people also say that Dan Amrich is a terrible dresser. But come on, everyone knows fashion is cyclical, and I'm sure DeLorean t-shirts, Prince wigs, homemade Ghostbuster uniforms, and medical canes with magic 8-balls glued to the top will be on the front cover of Vanity Fair again in no time.
Oh, damn.
I had an injury.
And Dan's not just a gamer. He sings, plays guitar, and even writes his own parody music, too. He's like a geeky version of Weird Al Yankovic.
Charlie getting taken
I'm
out
glad
with
the Roots are playing him
the
off.
Burning magazine.
Jesus Christ.
Who am I kidding? Dan's a total dweeb, and that's why I love him. I've never met anyone more awesomely eccentric, or more passionate about and comfortable with his awesome eccentricities. He's a true original, a fantastic mentor, and a humble superstar. I'll miss him. At least until he realizes his aging and decrepit lungs can't handle LA's smog and moves back to San Francisco. See you soon, Dan.
What I like about that
Charlie
one
Bird.
is earlier today, Charlie turned around and said, "How would you describe a museum?"
Wow, that's great. It's good to know that Charlie has never been in one.
And all
well
my
done, Chuck.
It's not online.
And my first reactions were like, dusty, boring, and he's like, good, keep going negative.
Keep going negative.
And I'm like,
because you're like, I hate knowledge.
And I'm like, what is this for? There's stale, stagnant air. What do you want?
All right, next up on our dais of the Dan Amrich roast is a man who shouldn't need any introduction, except for this one. Next up is a man with a man so full of video game knowledge, he has no room left for a penis. Michael Ramirez!
Oh, God. I want to start out by saying that I respect Dan immensely, okay? Dan's been in... Excuse me.
Try not to vomit while you do this.
Don't tell me what to do. Dan's been in this business for so long that he was writing about video games before they'd been invented. His scathing reviews of the latest penny arcade amusements set the 1937 run of Collier's ablaze. When I was a baby, my parents made me diapers out of his reviews. For years he worked at GamePro, doling out scores based on fun factor and hiding behind a surfing cartoon character named Dan Electro, which was also the closest Dan's ever been to a surfboard or anything resembling physical activity. In all seriousness, though, you are one of the funniest people I've ever worked with, the kindest, most generous. It will be a tremendous loss when you leave, and it was great to work with you. You were a great mentor. I really appreciate how eager you always were to give advice, and you'll be very much missed.
Thanks, man. I mean, except for eager to give advice is code for you constantly fucking butt in and told me everything that I was doing wrong.
It was advice that was sought.
All right.
Talking too much during your own roast, Dan
You
Amrich.
answered all the asinine questions.
I'm not allowed to say anything. That's right.
Play him off. Here we go. Up next, we have a man who was also on the first podcast but could not be here. Tyler Wilde. Everybody give him a hand up. Man so latently homosexual, Liberace's ghost accused him of rape. Tyler Wilde.
Good Lord.
Everybody. I feel really like I have a special connection to Mr. Dan Amrich because way back in the day at GamePro, my stepmother actually worked with Dan, or as he was known back then, Dan Electro. Now, if anything, this should tell you how fucking ancient this SOB is. Back in the 80s, when I was playing with color forms, he was sticking them on his face and calling them sunglasses. This guy is a walking time capsule of denim and hairspray.
Oh, shit!
Wow.
I had a warning on him.
Fucking
That's
on
wild.
target.
I didn't know Nevada could come out your nose. Oh, God, it burns.
Elson, it's Tyler's turn.
He could open a Goodwill in his closet, and hipsters would ask if he carried anything less ironic.
Oh, my God! Oh, jeez! Oh, fuck!
But seriously, have fun at Activision, Dan. You're the best. I consider you a mentor, and don't let LA suck the life out of you. That's what we're for.
Oh, Jesus.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tyler Wilde. It's always great to have him on via satellite. Up next, we have a man who's actually in the room. Up next, we have a man that is so my boss, I'm not even going to bother to make fun of him. Ladies and gentlemen, Eric Bratcher.
Hello, everyone. This is Eric Bratcher, editor-in-chief of Games Radar, and I'm here today to talk about Dan Amrich, a co-worker we've all known for a certain amount of time. Dan is a man of many talents, almost none of which have any practical application whatsoever. A man with dozens of interests, most of which are patently uninteresting. It's times like these, times when a cohort moves on to not bigger, not better, but definitely different things, that can cause a man to evaluate himself, to take measure of his own life and accomplishments. And to this end, I'd like us all to consider ourselves a comparison to the one and only person we call that damn Amrich. Folks, I've recently done this exact soul search, and in the arguably compelling blue-collar style of the inexplicably popular Jeff Foxworthy, I've come up with a personal checklist that we can all use to determine if we are, indeed, anything like Dan Amrich. If you've ever dyed your hair blue and it covered up your grays, you might be like Dan Amrich. If you've ever walked with a cane, not because it made a cool fashion accessory, but because you actually needed a cane, you might be like Dan Amrich. If you listen to music every day, but only own 3 albums from artists who don't get the senior discount at Denny's, you might be like Dan Amrich. If you dressed up as the mustachioed old man from the Monopoly box for Halloween, and all anyone asked is that the top hat you borrowed from Abe Lincoln? You might be like Dan Amrich. If the cover band you just left this year doesn't play Nirvana because it came out too recently, you might be like Dan Amrich. If you actually realized that the band Living Colour released a new album in 2009, you might be like Dan Amrich. If you just sold a perfectly good NES for $10 because you needed more space, but decided it was a good idea to keep your full-sized Tetris arcade cabinet, and you live in an apartment, you might be like Dan Amrich. If you had a lute player at your wedding, attend Ren fairs for something other than the booze, and own a shirt that can be described as a tunic, you might be like Dan Amrich. If someone asked you, hey, remember that old Dungeons & Dragons Saturday morning cartoon? And you were not only ancient enough to remember it, but showed up the next day with a DVD of the entire series that you burned yourself, you might be like Dan Amrich.
Jesus God.
If your idea of drinking hard is having another shot of 5-hour energy, you might be like Dan Amrich. If you have ever sent me an email with a subject line guitar porn, and it contained pictures of nothing but actual guitars, you might be like Dan Amrich. If it's been so long since you exercised that you created a Jabba the Hutt costume for yourself by taking off your shirt and carrying around the neighbor's chihuahua. Like
wow, that's cool.
If you can answer the question, if I install a JAMA harness in my cab, will that affect my ability to play CPS2 games with true Sanwa sticks? And we'll pause here while Dan answers.
Fuck you, I almost did.
What is it?
I'm not actually... is it okay if I say I'm not sure?
Please. No, not at all.
You should be able to run JAMA in a CPS2 rig. But I don't know... Well, yeah, you should be able to do that. You should totally... Okay, well, here's the thing. CPS2 is JAMA Plus. It's JAMA, which is 3 buttons plus another 3 buttons. So you just need the kick harness. So, okay, yeah. Go on, Christian Bale doing Eric Bratcher's voice.
If there exists on this planet a recording of you singing in Simlish, you might be like Dan Amrich.
Wow, he knows me too well.
If you had a mullet when I met you.
Oh, Jesus.
And finally, if you are one of the most warm-hearted, outgoing, just plain awesome people I've ever met. A brilliantly smart and witty man whose laugh can light up a room, and whom I look forward to seeing every single day. I will miss more than I can actually articulate without sounding romantic. There's no might be like about it. You are Dan Amrich, and I will forever consider you one of my closest friends. Number one.
That's very sweet.
Yeah, Eric Bradger, ladies and gentlemen.
That was so steal. Jesus Christ.
That was play last. Well, ladies, we got a heartfelt speech from Dan, one of your closest colleagues.
You mean
let me introduce,
geographically, right?
Let me introduce a gentleman so obsessed with Nintendo, his firstborn son is named Virtual Boy. And he refers to his dick and balls as the Triforce. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Brett Elston.
I'm taking that one with me. That's.
I don't have Dan's so blank jokes, but instead I thought I would tell actual personal stories that embarrass him.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate that. But you can call me fat in them if you'd like to.
No.
It's fine.
I remember the first industry event I went to you with, you drink so little and party so little.
Yes.
That I showed up 15 minutes late and you were shit-faced off of one Long Island iced tea that wasn't completely drank yet. And you were like giggly and like leaning on shit, and it was a preview event for Over the Hedge.
Oh, Jesus.
Shit, I remember that.
/ X-Men, the official game, which was worse.
That event!
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
fucking A, yes. Oh, I was...
Yes, off of one.
Several sheets.
Don't say the company.
I was
Activision.
I was several sheets to the wind at that point, and literally a third of a Long Island iced tea. I'm Mr. Lightweight.
My next one is during... I don't believe I've told this story before. The dark days of Games Radar, when we were working till 11 or midnight every night trying to get this piece of shit on the fucking air. Dan made a break to go to Arby's to get food and drinks, and he's already rubbing his face.
It was Jack in the Box, and I remember this shit.
It was Jack in the Box, and Dan leaves and calls us like, "Oh, what do you want us to buy?" And we all give our orders. And there's probably like 7 or 8 of us all working in this office till like 11. Like I said, 11 or midnight.
It was ridiculous.
And when Dan finally shows up like an hour and a half later, he suspiciously has the food but no drinks whatsoever, even though we all ordered combos and there's no drinks. And what happened was someone like cut in front of you, stopped short, and every single extra large soda just blasted all over your dashboard.
Yeah.
And just the idea of you, the image of you attempting to prevent that, like putting your arm out, like, no!
It's exactly what happened. I was getting onto the highway, and it was one of those like tight curly Q things, and some jackass cut me off, and I screamed, "No!" like as it went down, because I was like so nervous.
Oh. And just your car smells like Dr. Pepper for a year.
Yes, it did.
And my third one is extremely personal, but my favorite story. Dan's diet is so poor that he got the gout.
That's all there is to it.
Which, if you look it up, is known as the disease of kings.
Yes.
Opulence.
And it's one of 2 things Dan has in common with Sue, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, on display at the Field Museum in Chicago.
There we go. Thank you.
The other one being is that they're both 65 million years old.
I appreciate that.
But in all seriousness.
That wasn't telegraphed at all. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, seriousness. Dan, you kind of embody all the same shit goes where like, oh, respect and blah blah blah. That goes as well. But what's like specifically for me is like you were my first ever actual doorway to the industry. Like I was in college. I was living in Illinois. I had no contacts whatsoever. I was 22, literally thousands of miles from anything that mattered, and you were the only one. I emailed everyone. Dan Shu at EGM. I emailed whoever was at GMR, XBN, whatever fucking magazines were out. Dan Amick from GamePro was the only one who returned my email and said, sure, send me a writing sample. And I did, and it sucked. And your first bout of criticism was so precise that it changed my entire writing style, like with one criticism.
What did I say? It sucked?
The important thing was you told me...
Here's how it sucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is an important distinction. And literally in one bout of criticism, it changed me, it changed my perception of games, it really helped me grow as just a writer. And that guided me eventually to, I can do this, I can proceed. And then ultimately when my interview for Games Radar, it was with you and Eric, who just roasted the shit out of you. So it was literally the only two people I knew in the industry were interviewing me for a job, and it's like, I can't mess this up. So it was just like every step of the way to get me into the industry was Dan Amrich. And it was really strange.
Yeah.
But there was a click there, and the thing that really got me was it made me feel good because a 40-year-old with...
Fuck you, I am not 40. I was not 40 when you wrote to me. I was not 40 when you...
I know. That's called the joke.
I'm glad you identified it because I would not have known otherwise.
Yeah. An older man.
An elderly gentleman.
An elderly gentleman could still be in, because as a 23-year-old, I wasn't sure, can I be cool with game? Am I going to have to grow into an adult and be serious? But, seeing someone who was just still as nerdy, still with his blue-dyed hair and is seriously into games, sci-fi, and all this shit, it's no, this is possible. I can do this. It was an actual personal inspiration, so it mattered a lot. And also, this is something I've never told anyone. No one.
Go on.
We're all leaning in now.
I haven't even told my girlfriend this. But after you interviewed Carolyn, who is my girlfriend, you walked out and said, I have just interviewed your future wife.
I did say that. I remember saying
And you told me that, and I've been dating her for 3 years now. So
we could tell instantly. It was just those two need to be together.
And the fact that you called that so swiftly is obviously very important to me. So,
and it wasn't a joke. I knew it.
Yeah, I know.
You guys are going to hit it off.
Yeah.
Her dog is named Zelda Marie. For fuck's
I know.
sake.
That's the thing. So there you go. There you go.
Don't I get a chance to respond to all of you bastards at this point?
This is true.
Traditionally in a roast,
this is true.
Hold on, hit us back, Dan.
No, wait. Hey, everybody, we've got to hear from the man himself, the man we're roasting, the man of the hour. Let me introduce the guy who left his position at WoW Magazine so fast he lost 10 levels of XP.
Oh, Jesus. I will not. I'm all fine with the age jokes. I have been doing this for a long time, and I don't know. It means a lot to me to hear that you guys, that I have helped in some way. I really don't know what else to say. Yes, I'm actually getting a little choked up. One of the things that when I got into this industry, I really never wanted to be that rockstar douchebag. I saw a lot of writers thinking they were hot shit because they got a chance to play games 3 months early. And I was like, my life's goal has been to tear down that ivory tower. I am like you guys. I love games. I just have the opportunity to talk about them. And sometimes I see things that you don't get to see, but then I can't wait to tell you about them. And I thought that was very important. And I didn't want it to just be check me out, I'm fucking awesome. And so it's kind of weird to have everybody come on and say you're fucking awesome. So I'm not.
You're fucking validated.
Yeah, I'm kind of validated, but it's also, it means a lot to hear Brett, your story and to know that I gave you good feedback and
You also interviewed me. You were one of the people who decided that I should for some reason deserve a chance to.
You're the only one who had journalistic experience when we started this fucking thing.
What are you fucking talking about?
Well, you were TV. That's not real journalism. We all know that. Mm-hmm. We were looking for real journalism.
I had a degree, man.
I had my piece of paper. I was free. Yeah. But. Yeah, I guess what I'm honestly trying to say is thank you. I don't take compliments well. Because I think if you start believing your own hype, then you become a douchebag. So this is.
I forgot to do mine. So
yeah, that's all right. No, I noticed who was not chiming in. It's all right. You're
introducing
on the
everybody.
Yeah, I know.
I have a story.
I won't get sappy on you any more than I have, but thank you. I deserve every piece of the ribbing that you gave me. Some of it, I'm thinking, fuck, that's funny because it's not funny at all. I don't have anything less ironic, and I do go to Hot Topic and go, fuck, they finally have the Ghostbuster shirts in stock, you know. And everybody else is like, oh yeah, isn't this funny? I'm like, no, this is my new uniform. Like, I'm going to school with new clothes, you know. So, thank you. I did not expect this, and it's a nice way to sort of put a cap on 16 years of saying the breast physics in this one are better than the breast physics in the other one, and all the other really important things that I feel I've done. So thank you. Thank you guys very much. Earnestly, I'm glad that you just shot me full of holes. Thanks.
Just doing our job.
I just tweeted roasting the dicks out of Dan Amrich, and someone replied, "Who put the dicks in him?"
That would be Chris Antista's ultimate.
Who put the dicks in?
that would be Chris Antista's true contribution to
the Tiger Claws.
And I did it with my toes.
Oh, dear.
Shoving dicks in Dan Amrich's ass with my feet.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's go to break. Give me a palette swap song. What are we playing now?
Let's do since you did everything about me being fucking broke down and old, let's do 3 Red Lights.
Red Lights?
About dying Xbox 360s.
Oh, the Wallflowers.
Yes. Yeah, now you know.
I do know.
Yeah.
I was sophomore year of high school.
Oh, God.
Let me get back.
I was old enough to rent a car by that point. How's that?
Let me get back, win stuff, and help us say goodbye to Dan Amrich.
My new Xbox console won't turn on. I think there's something seriously wrong. My ring of light is just flashing angry red. I think that means my 360 is dead. Well, I heard they die easy from a broken parts disease. I should have bought extended warranties. Now it really seems such a waste. I still had lots of hard disk space. I wonder how I'll get this thing replaced. Hey, I could cry a little. Nothing is forever, but I didn't think my 360 was quite so brittle. Microsoft will tell you it's good to play together. Here I am alone with 3 red lights.
Hey, what's up? It's Tony Hawk. You were listening to TalkRadar at GamesRadar.com.
I wake up every morning and I head to my PC to read about PS3. When I check the gaming forum, your mistakes are all I see, a grammatical catastrophe. I would like to chat, but you just can't spell. You should learn to spell. It's not spelled like that. You should learn to spell. You should learn to spell. I'd like to make suggestions, but I can't read what you write, and I'm trying with all my might. When I posted some corrections, I didn't mean to start a fight, but the thread flamed on all night. Well, maybe you're dyslexic, or maybe you're a moron. When you're talking games, you know who to blame if you just can't spell. At your favorite site, you should spell it right. You should learn to spell. This goes for Wii and 360 and PC as well. It's all hard to read, so you simply need to learn how to spell. Gotta learn to spell. yourself that it's just words on a screen. Everybody knows what I mean, but numbers aren't letters, and U and R are words. When your NeoGaf message made them laugh cause you could not spell. Over at GameSpot, reputation shot cause you just can't spell. And they agreed 2:45 and gamers hell. You might try again at IGN once you learn to spell. So it's I before E, except after C, and sometimes it does not need an apostrophe. But you don't even care about there, and there. It's like you learn to speak from texting on your cell.
When you're talking games, we know who to blame if you just can't spell. At your favorite site, you should spell it right, you should learn to spell. If a dictionary's kind of scary, what the hell? Then you're a fool, go back to school and learn to spell.
On the internet, this is what you get, people who can't spell.
Learn to spell.
On the gaming boards, you will be ignored if you just can't spell.
Learn to spell.
You only fools use grammar rules when the gamers dwell. The written word seems so absurd when you can't spell.
Learn to spell.
I wrote this song cause you typed it wrong and you couldn't tell.
Learn to spell.
It's not much fun as the only one here who can spell.
Hey!
Yes?
You look like a real asshole!
Well, I am an extremely serious gamer.
He's completely devoid of humor. So what you doing?
Well, my level 80 guild and I were running off to complain about the journalistic credibility of Ars Technica's Naruto review on NeoGaf.
Wrong, Dick! You're listening to TalkRadar! Oh, I'm sorry! You thought you were funny? Well, guess the fuck what?
Amend your fucking review, shit dick. Right? I swear to fucking Christ, I'll jump through that goddamn internet and kick you in the fucking throat.
We ain't no fucking magazine, we got the F word!
Fuck you, I thought it was funny.
Fuck you!
No, you two separate.
Let's fucking...
Separate.
We got hour-long stories about shitting!
Came out like a baby elephant. Didn't hurt a bit.
TalkRadar with a house at Abe Lincoln's bonus bill!
Call it the Kid Fuckers Hoagie.
Totally awesome video game!
It was another day in the valley after a 12-hour grind at work. I retired here to the sofa when my heart began to perk. She walked in, threw her coat on the table. My nerves told me to freeze, but my heart ignored the warning label as she said, "The usual, please." Because her hair was mochaccino, her eyes cafe latte. I hope she'd be my coffee house girl someday.
Bam! Coming back in. I don't care about Rock Band. Dan, what are we listening to?
This would be a friend of mine, Chris FM was his stage name. And he wrote a whole album. I said, "Hey, do you want to be in a cover band with me?" And Chris said, "No, I'm going to go make my own songs." I'm like, "Haha, of course you are." And then 9 months later, he's like, "Do you want to sing on one of my songs?" So that was Coffee House Girl by Chris FM, and that was the hit single in his small group of friends. This was never commercially released, but he gave me permission to play it whenever I wanted to.
Coffee House Girl.
Yeah, it's cute. It's a nice little thing. That was sort of when I realized, oh, yeah, I could actually sing again. You know, so
you can always
nice
sing.
For years I didn't.
Really?
Yeah, I sad little trivia fact, I was trained as an opera singer when I was a young kid.
Really?
I performed La Boheme, and I performed Madame Butterfly.
Ave Maria?
And yeah, I did that. I sang Handel's Messiah and all this. But then, like, you know, you get older and kids go, "You can't sing." You know, whenever like whatever you're good at, other kids put you down, and for some reason I believed it. So for years I stopped singing, and then when I kind of like between karaoke and my friend Chris, I like got back into singing a little bit, and then I joined the band, and now look at it. So who knew?
I forgot.
Don't give up on your dreams. Don't let them tell you can't do things that you know you can do. Because I totally bought the hate. And,
Damn it!
You know, stupid. But there you go.
The reason why I didn't tell my personal Dan Amrich story is because I couldn't remember
it.
A crucial
you were drunk.
No, a crucial point. In my first week here, this is how soon it was because you had just left Games Radar. That you, me, and Charlie went to lunch.
We did.
Yes.
Okay.
And
I believe you.
It was very sexy.
And
I'm sure.
Wendy's
truck stop?
We were just talking. I'm all nervous, and I'm telling stories. And yes, I tell stories, and I'll, sometimes exaggerate, maybe. And then Charlie just cuts me off. That didn't happen. You're lying. And this guy I just met, who I want to get a job with, he's calling me a liar. And you completely diffused the situation.
What did I do? You don't remember?
You started talking about Pelham 123, which I immediately downloaded and watched on an airplane on my first trip.
Really?
With games. Yeah, I watched Pelham 123 starring Walter Matthau and
the original. Do not watch that remake. But
Yeah.
the original is a wonderful piece of 70s filmmaking.
Dope. It is incredibly dope. Like what would you call that? Budget thriller.
Yeah. Yeah.
But-
Like, you wouldn't think that it would be tense to be like we've
Did Corman
kidnapped
do
a.
Did Corman do it?
No.
No.
It not like it's not cheesy at all. It's just that
You
there's
say budget thriller. I think Roger Corman.
no. It's just there
It's
was
better than that. Walter Matthau, Jerry Stiller.
Jerry
Jerry
Stiller.
Stiller is in it. Robert Shaw and
What are you gonna do? Make the city in New York?
yeah, you're gonna make every man, woman, and child in New York close their eyes.
Walter Matthau, the man who was barely trying but won my heart.
The best part is that one of the four gangsters in that, I forget Mr. Brown or Mr. Blue, is Wilson from Home Improvement. You never see his face. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. One of the four thugs is him. The other ones is Hector Elizondo, who went on to do like
Hector.
serious, like St. Elsewhere and
In,
shit like that.
Chicago.
The four thugs
Yeah,
from
Chicago
Reservoir
Hope or whatever.
Dogs?
Huh?
Yeah. No.
Reservoir Dogs got the Mr. Brown, Mr. Blue
Yes.
from Taking a Pelham 123. It was an
Okay.
homage. So there you go.
So what do they call the? It was just Pelham 123.
The Taking of Pelham 123 was the.
Original or the
Yeah,
new,
the
the new
original.
one is called
No, they're both the Taking,
Okay.
and they're based on a book. So there's a book out there too. I've never, if you do it as a
and a
big
TV
deal.
movie.
Yes,
But
with
you
Vincent
want the Walter
D'Onofrio.
Matthau movie. Huh?
Vincent D'Onofrio playing the lead in the TV movie. But yeah, you want the original from '75 or whatever.
Because it's cheap, more than likely.
Yes, it's cheap. It's out on DVD, and it's.
Which brings us into game deals.
Take my advice, do as I say.
I don't have a lot to tell anybody.
That rainy day you were saving for was last Friday.
It's only interesting because Black Friday is purely a brick and mortar retailer thing.
Yeah.
Not
Except,
true.
Yeah.
I
Amazon
bought
went
tons
crazy.
of shit
Off of who?
Off of Amazon.
Amazon. And Amazon
and a little from Newegg.
Amazon, guess what, is having a giant sale every day.
Yeah.
And because it doesn't matter, and I thought they were going to fight back this year with something called Cyber Monday, where it's like
They did.
the deals were terrible.
Yeah, the deals were
And-
not as good as they were like on Thanksgiving Day. On Thanksgiving Day, I picked up like Brutal Legend for $30
Yeah.
and Left 4 Dead for $35 and Left 4
Picked
Dead
up
2.
Dragon Age for $35.
Yeah.
Follow me on Twitter. I'll be.
Great
I'll
stuff.
be
The thing is, though,
jamming them
the
out.
brick and mortar places are doing it too because they're scared shitless. Because I don't think Black Friday
should
went that
be.
well for them.
No, they should be. It's like
Those PS3 deals were absolutely insane.
They were great.
Yeah.
If you didn't have a PS3, you should have bought one
Seriously.
last weekend.
what was
At
the deal?
Walmart, what did they have? They had a PS3 Slim, 120 gigabyte, Arkham Asylum, Infamous, Dark Knight on Blu-ray.
Yeah,
And $300.
yeah.
300
Like all the software was free, basically.
Yeah.
So you're basically paying the suggested retail price for a PS3. Amazon had Infamous and Killzone included.
Yeah.
It was
good
not.
stuff.
It pissed me off so much that I already owned all this dumb shit.
Yeah.
But that's $300 you don't have to spend now.
I
But this
know.
week you got nothing to spend it on. Is that what your problem is?
That's why they're bad, and the only deals being offered. So almost everything is skyrocketed back up to suggested retail price, and it probably will until around Christmas. Every day, Newegg's having a new deal. I don't know what it is. Gamefly's having a deal. I'm just looking at today's Gamefly deal. It was Killzone 2 and Resistance 2 for $17.99 each used. Really good price. 360 COD WA, $19.99. It's still going for $40 at some retailers. good price. But Toys R Us, the one Amazon's got stuff going on all the time, and Toys R Us is still has an analog deal. Buy New Super Mario Bros. Wii and get 50% off another Wii game, and that includes Wii Fit and Activision bundles. Yeah, you could save pretty significantly on.
Assuming you're in the market for all that stuff.
I can't imagine that. I complain about them a lot, but you have to be interested in one of them. It's not really possible. You can't
not to be.
Yeah, you can't care about one of these. What are you going to call them there when you get to Activision? $170 games.
God, I hope not. I hope it doesn't go to unless you're getting like 3 games for that price.
$120 games. They come with plastic.
I believe they would be called deluxe living room experiences if I were. That's probably what I'll be asked to call them.
I'm just. I have to intercede for a moment.
Yeah.
In my drunken stupor, I just kind of leaned over to the right, like
you're gonna vomit. Yeah, I did see you were kind of passing out in your chair.
And I look
clean
at
living, kids.
I look at the wall, and all I see is this giant folder filled with magazines that says Halo 2, November 9th, 2004.
Yep.
Priorities.
How long has this been sitting in the corner? Like, we've only been in this building since 06, so this shit has been sitting here.
They brought in old ones. Well,
they brought in old magazines from 04.
Did you talk over the outro? Go ahead.
Take my advice.
This is about Halo. It's not very interesting, so I am done.
Oh,
that's all.
Community segment. Before we kick the community segment hard in the balls, I have to give a shout out to Nikki Walrus 2159. Happy baptism. I'm sorry I can't make it, but I appreciate the invite. I was very sweet of you.
When I watched my sister get baptized, I thought they were killing her.
Yeah, that's kind of why I don't want to be there.
And I cried out loud in the church.
It does look like it spawned from something like, well, you survived. You must be anointed by God.
I remember the talk of having my parents tell me, no, she's not dead.
I was baptized as a baby, and I still resent it more than losing my foreskin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Foreskin.
What if I would have died?
Let it all go.
That foreskin only would have led to trouble.
Have you seen the scar tissue? It looks terrible.
Show me now.
You're right,
dude.
It does.
I need a zipper sound effect. Zwap.
Yeah, the zipper and then the flop.
You know? All right, you ready, Dan?
Write that one down.
Go.
I was hoping
you've leveled up.
I was hoping you were going to play the glass pants again.
Don't come.
I don't have that on here. I need to get it back.
Protect yourself.
What do we have for contests this week? Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince.
What about
Comes out December 8th. We're giving it away, Michael.
Oh.
And I thought we had 5 copies of Terminator to give away. Turns out we had 10. I don't know if that's the case with Harry Potter.
Are these DVDs or these
Blu-rays?
These
are DVDs.
Oh, okay. I like me some Harry Potter.
It was Blu-rays with the last contest, and they said, we're going to start trying to give you guys some more Blu-rays. They gave us full-screen editions of Terminator. So it doesn't matter. You won them anyway.
If you want a thing that nobody wants.
Free is better than not owning.
Here's what I want. It comes with a free digital copy.
Which
is
full screen.
Is there a full screen digital copy?
No. The sticker does say theatrical version of the digital copy.
So what you're really giving away is a digital copy of Terminator Salvation. With a free DVD of the full screen edition
what I love
as
is
a
like,
backup.
If you look on your
throw it at your friends.
If you look at Xbox Live's dashboard right now, it says there's a little ad that says nowhere does it say Terminator Salvation. It just says expand your collection. Own the 2009 blockbuster today. 1.
Sure.
No collector gives a fuck about digital downloads.
True.
2. Wasn't a blockbuster. Like, the whole thing is wrong.
Yeah, they were selling the series out from underneath the first part of an intended trilogy.
God.
Anyway.
Who wants it?
Harry Potter. What's a good Harry Potter contest?
Put glasses on something.
Put glasses on something?
Put
glasses in a lightning bolt.
I was going to say find lightning bolts.
Not even put glasses. What I wanted to do was
put the Voldemorts on something.
Consult your rudimentary Latin skills and create a spell for a game character. No image required, just text.
Just text.
Yes. Expectos Patronus produces a crossing guard in Harry Potter, so what would yours do?
You mispronounced all of that.
I really thought I was...
Patronus?
Expecto Patronus.
Oh,
wow.
I was like,
I can't believe
Expecto Patronum?
Why the fuck is that the part that you're having an issue with?
Why the fuck wouldn't it?
Why
be?
would
Because
you?
Harry
Why would
Potter
you just
fucking
not let that
matters,
go
dude.
as a joke I intentionally mispronounced and defined?
That's where we give you shit.
Fine, Sterigo Patron Tequila, whatever.
And rapport.
Capo Wabo.
Rapport. Michael Rapport.
You make Sammy Hagar appear.
Wabo Wabo.
Yeah, whose grandpa can do the most meth?
I refuse.
Tell you what, man.
I refuse to drive 55.
I
Under
just
no
can't.
circumstance. Yeah, that's that
What used
contest.
to take
Daniel,
2 hours
how do we
now
wanna,
takes all day.
How do we want to give this away? This
Well,
is the good
I
shit.
want to remind people about the deck of DOA
Yeah.
cards, sealed very rare.
Yeah.
What do we say we were going to do to give that away? Oh yeah, it was come up with the least likely, most offensive modern slogan, advertising slogan for DOA
That's
Extreme
a
Beach
secret
Volleyball.
contest. Only TalkRadar listeners will know
Yeah.
about that one.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
So
this
what
one,
is- what is the prize again?
So this other prize
they're
I've
playing.
brought. If you play World of Warcraft, first of all,
We all
you
do.
are a superior human being, and you should continue doing so. But if you do, they have recently a lot of people's accounts were getting jacked, and so they've come up with an electronic authenticator, kind of like they use at banks and stuff. So there's a random number generator on their side and a random number generator on your side, and so you type in your name and your password, and then it asks you for this random number generator. You cannot get into the game anymore without having one of these random number generating devices. You can get it for iPhone, or you can get this little keychain so you can carry it around with you everywhere. This one is a Blizzard authenticator that was only given away at BlizzCon 09, so it has exclusive graphics, and they do not sell this edition. So it does the same thing as any other authenticator, and you can't play the game without it. So if you don't, this is a
Got
cool
a
way.
snazzy collector's case sealed.
It is sealed. It's just a little digital keychain type thing, and it generates like a 6, 7, or 8 digit number.
I know we have some WoW fans.
So yeah, so if you're a WoW fan, this is a cool way to upgrade. It's got some custom StarCraft 2 actual stuff on it, because you'll need this for Diablo 3 and StarCraft 2, and anything that Blizzard does from now on is going to go through this authenticator.
That is weird.
But it says BlizzCon, it has the BlizzCon logo on it, and it's not available anywhere else. So that's from my personal
win that?
stash. I don't know. What do you want to do? Let's see.
Who can say-
more about WoW, Dad.
Huh?
Okay, I have an idea. Who can say the kindest thing about Dan Amrich?
No, that's bullshit.
Sorry.
No, the nastiest burn on Dan Amrich. I think your audience would be far more into that. I think that would be good. The best inappropriate joke. You can make fun of my weight. You can make fun of my age. You can make fun of my infamous Marty Feldman eye.
Are you?
You can. Are you? Absolutely.
We were wondering if
I'm stunned that none of you fuckers stepped up.
We
to
were
be all
wondering.
Like,
We were wondering.
You've got 120 degree vision. You
No,
know?
we had a discussion the other day about whether you or Jordy LaForge sees more.
I have always had I've had it since birth, so I have a good sense of humor about it. I would actually come up with the best eye. Specifically, let's do the eye, because nobody else did, and let's let your listeners go for that. Come up with the best burn.
You know who did? Henry.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
That fucker.
He said, I believe he said he would have the laziest eye in the building when she left.
He will have the laziest eye in the building. Yeah, so I've got a lazy eye. I can see out of it just fine. I actually see out of both eyes at the same time, so I kind of have a weird double vision. I've just learned to correct for it.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm totally mutant, but
There's
I
also
can
the
I can see like crazy around my head. Like
The
so
inspiration of the hit single from Silver Sun's Pickups.
Lazy Eye. That's
Eye.
right. So yeah, give me your best shot
What a
about
joke.
my
What a joke.
about my eye. I've got Marty Feldman eyes, so go for it.
Better than Betty Davis eyes.
Yeah, that's actually I can announce now. I've been going to do that parody for a long time. It probably won't be Palette Swap Ninja because it's not about games,
Right.
but I've always said I'm going to do that.
Betty
so.
Davis eyes?
Yeah, I was going to do Marty Feldman eyes.
I love that.
You're not going
Just-
to do down with LBP like we talked about?
Yeah, I still haven't played Little Big Planet.
Nobody
so.
has.
No?
It's Game of the Year to half of the people out there.
It has a Game of the Year edition.
Oh, that's
That
true.
means it sold 300,000 copies.
Wasn't it
As
your
does
Game
Call
of the
of
Year?
Duty.
Wasn't it your
amazing.
Game of the Year?
No.
Oh, well then whose Game of the Year was it?
Last year was, what did we get Game of the Year last year? Fallout 3.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's a good choice. That's a fine choice.
I know what I'm doing this year.
Retro Game Challenge.
We haven't said yet, but I know.
Better be Retro Game Challenge.
I gotta play that. I have not played
It's
Retro
so
Game Challenge.
fucking
It's cool.
good.
I've really got to play that.
It's so fucking
It's a game
cool.
that
It's a
celebrates-
validation of
Yeah.
everything you've ever done.
Yeah, Retro Game Challenge
Wow.
basically celebrates not the games of the era, but the experience of the era of coming home and reading a magazine and learning about the next
With
game.
the people you grew up
This is a
reading.
DS game, right?
Yeah, it's DS only.
Alright,
It's
I gotta-
really cool.
I got to try this thing.
It's fun.
All right, so yeah, give me your best burn, and you can win the Blizzard Authenticator exclusive BlizzCon 2009 edition.
We are going to do that, what? I think we want to do that in the comments of the article.
Sure.
TalkRadar 80 article.
So that way I can peek in on it very easily.
You can
because
see
egotistically, I'll be like, you've all got to listen to
You
this
can
week's
see
podcast.
Dinosaur
They totally
Penis
ripped on
off
me.
ramp, all the stuff we're doing in the office, links to the things we were talking about.
Yeah, it'll be on GamesRadar.com/something. It'll
No,
be TalkRadar 80.
TalkRadar 80. You can Google that, or you can go to the main site. It'll be up all weekend.
Right.
Yeah. Brett Elston, what was last week's question of the week?
Question of the week, last week. Oh, God. Room is...
What did you do?
I don't
He
know.
drank.
You've only had like what?
Can't
Oh,
hold your
Elston
liquor.
doesn't drink. He usually drinks pretty moderately. Are you okay?
I started really early.
Okay.
And I had different beers. Last week's...
Never mix beers.
No, I've already done it. Last week's question of the week was, what are you thankful for? Because last week was Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Remember when we kicked those... yeah. Those guys, those Native American gentlemen helped us, and we killed them all.
Yes.
What a
We
great
repaid
holiday.
them with a
Very
century
American of us.
We
genocide.
traded them their corn for pox blankets. You're welcome.
Last week's question is, what are you thankful for? And I didn't have enough... I had a very cursory look through the list because I...
I'm drunk?
Brett's probably not going to do this anymore.
I have too many duties.
He said duty.
I did.
Did. On PSN this weekend, Dan.
Yes.
Courtesy of Activision.
Duty Classic. Gamer with a G-A-Y. He's happy that Atlas brought over Demon's Souls.
Yeah.
That is nice.
Atlas is poised to be a giant new developer for taking chances, or publisher for taking chances.
Well, they've been that way for years, though.
I know, but it's still fucking... But they got 3D Game Heroes.
3D Game Heroes, I'm very excited
And
for.
Demon's Souls seemed like resonated with people in a way I never would have.
I know,
thought
that's weird. Like I feel about Atlas and NIS.
I love people-
NIS America the same way. I just
Yeah.
Thrawn 2112 is thankful for Street Fighter 4 mainly because it got him involved in his local fighting game scene, which is like a relic, like a long gone from like 1993 was the last time I remember that mattering, or 95 even maybe.
Gotta get on SRK.
Yeah.
It's CES forums.
Oh yes.
Link you up with everybody you want to fight with.
Yes. Chrono Man 66. The general improvement of comic book games. He mentioned Web of Shadows, which did come out in 2008. But nonetheless, Web of Shadows, the Wolverine game from this year, Batman Arkham Asylum, and Ultimate Alliance 2, just generally comic book games, were pretty good this year. Big Dick Murphy.
I love the man.
He just started listening to podcasts this year, and in doing so, went to 1UP and KOXM, and through KOXM found TalkRadar, and now he's specifically thankful every Friday for TalkRadar.
But not for KOXM.
Not for KOXM.
Are you Friday published too?
Yes, we are.
Oh.
Yeah. But
Damn.
but nonetheless, he was. It was
sad.
it was a positive. My reasonable fanboy is happy about the great voice work. I like this because it was very specific. The great voice acting in Uncharted and Batman Arkham Asylum. Both games did have extremely good voice acting. Madrone Man was happy for Monkey Island remakes on XBLA
and the iPhone.
And
I followed Tim Schafer on Twitter, and it was just really funny to see. I am stuck on Monkey Island.
He
How
needed to
embarrassing.
shake to get help from his own game. How embarrassing. That was great that he was willing to admit it.
And then just general, people were thankful in general for TalkRadar and GamesRadar.
Aw, really? I didn't even see that.
Yeah, just they're like the work we do and the hours we put in, and it was very heartwarming. Thanks for PS3's stronger presence and lineup this year was good, and a lot of people were specifically happy for Arkham Asylum, which I was especially.
Finally.
And then the most strangest one was, I think Lizzie is hot, said, I am thankful for one thing, and that is Lizzie Cuevas. She is my inspiration, my beating heart, my everything. Without her, I would be a whisper in a storm. I can't imagine a world without her. Whether it is in the rustle of the bushes or a thump in the next room, I will always be there for you, Lizzie. Watching, waiting like a specter in the shadows, just bidding my time before it is right to confess my true love for you.
Don't come.
P.S. I want to make organs. I want to make Christmas ornaments of your organs.
I was gonna say,
I made
for
that
Christmas,
part up.
he's gonna get a restraining order.
Who was that?
I think Lizzie is hot.
No, that was his name?
That was
That's
his name.
I think Lizzie is hot. You'll be happy to know that Lizzie is newly single.
She will hate you for
Accepting
A
messages.
whisper in a storm is quite a turn of a phrase there.
Isn't it? A whisper in a storm.
Somebody was reading bad poetry
It's like
and/or
te-
listening to Helen Reddy songs.
It's like
or something.
Tears in the Rain.
Tears in the rain.
I've seen things about Lizzie Cuevas you wouldn't believe.
Or it's like a burrito in a flood. It just doesn't work. Anachronistic. Get it?
I get it now.
Okay.
That moves us to question of the week.
I think I'm going to title that in the comment.
Burrito in the storm.
Burrito in a flood.
Burrito in a flood.
Like a burrito in a flood.
Just, you know.
Ellipses. Yes.
Dot.
Did you know one of my eyes is
song ever.
One of my eyes is a different color from the other one.
It is. I'm a partial ocular albino.
Also, apparently, James Mason.
I'm sorry. What was this week's question of the week?
This week's question of the week you'll find in gamesradar.com/forums.
Really?
The James Mason. James plural in this case, of course.
The location of the forums known only to me.
GamesRadar.com/forums. Go to TalkRadar podcast. Even though it's a
my
show,
favorite thing I've ever done.
It's not
It's
a
a show, but
podcast.
it's also. Oh, it's not a podcast.
It's not a podcast, Dan. It's a show.
Why is it not a podcast?
Podcast is an antiquated term, buzzword created by Apple. That
Yes.
I thought it was created by Adam Curry.
Adam Curry, the guy with the
was-
giant hair.
Yeah, he invented podcasting.
It was
Am I wrong?
created-
Am I wrong?
It was created by General Podcast, and they're all named after him.
Just like General Podcast's chicken.
General Podcast Chicken and General Protection Fault. Yeah. All right.
And General Distance.
General Disarray.
General Chaos. Yeah.
General Chaos. Excellent
General
game.
Chaos.
Electronic Arts. Your enemy. Question
They're
of the
not
week.
my enemy. I love games. I'm platform agnostic.
No, you're not. You're working for Activision. Though.
Yeah.
Activision is totally platform agnostic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
They're inventing new platforms now just to put something that says that thing
They're
hero
so
on it.
platform agnostic, they said that they might stop making games for PS3.
Oh, my bad.
We are
Yeah, they're
a
just
while
behind
ago.
Valve on the curve there. Come on.
We are peripheral agnostic.
You're going to be really
GamesRadar.com
good at this.
/forums. Question. What is this? Question 64. If only I had a Nintendo 64 related question. Related.
Yeah, I've got one for you. Do you have a Nintendo 64?
Here's my question.
Nobody
Do you-
bought my Nintendo 64.
Do you remember
today,
when
though.
a 64 came out?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a great anecdote about
I don't
that.
care. That's not what my question is.
All right.
Question of the week 64.
Oh, guest of honor.
I have a memory
Sorry.
too. What do you want? Question 64. Answer in GamesRadar.com/forums. TalkRadar podcast will read your answer next week on podcast if I like it. What do you always name your character or profile if prompted for such a thing? It seems like people probably name shit the same thing, or maybe you refuse and you want to use the given name in any game. Mine, if it's just like a profile or anything, it's always Perch. There's a reason for that, and it's also another boring story I won't get into. It involves Killer Instinct. That's interesting.
Fago.
Fago.
This is
Really?
the sound of this is the sound of me shaking my head. No, it's not.
If they only allow 3 letters, I use dir. And if it's a game I'm reviewing and don't give a shit about, like say Modern Warfare Reflex, I put in fart.
Hey, can I get mine out of the way just
Yes,
by
please.
saying this is all based on playing arcade games. It's cum, jizz, ass,
Fuck. FUK? Do you do the classic arcade fuck?
I never. I swear to God, I was snobby. That is not fuck. That could
It's
be
not
few-
spelled right.
That could be,
I will
that could be
only
anything.
swear in
Yeah, but
3-letter words.
jizz has 2 Z's, man.
Yeah, it gets the point across, my friend.
So does FUK.
different parts
Go
of the
ahead,
country.
pronounce jizz with 1 Z.
Just
Jize.
You know what?
Jize.
Already hard. already hard. Doesn't matter. It. Yes. And I use asshole a lot. I'm really just a fucking juvenile.
You are.
Wow.
Do you ever name anything that's not a profane
I
term?
did. I was capturing screens on something I reviewed a long time ago, and it just ass. It's 3 letters, really easy, especially if you're on a keyboard. Bing, 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 2 fingers. That's it.
Yeah, and next to each other and everything.
Someone's like, "Your name is Ass here." I'm like, and I put a caption in that says, "This is a good, the bad, and the ugly reference. I'm Archibald Salisbury Stanton, the grave where the gold is buried."
Wow,
and,
long way to go.
That's
Or I'm a 4-year-old. Like one of the two.
I found out that "butt" is a funny word.
Can't help it. I can't help it.
Okay.
I honestly kind of think I don't care what my name is. And I'd more rather play as another character than change my name. And when someone forces me to, I just put in the quickest thing possible. Tell that to Activision.
Nothing longer? Like, when do you take the opportunity to do longer things?
No, never. Like, I really hate it when they make me create a character. Like, I'd much rather jump in and play a game.
Okay.
I do not care about the creation of any character on screen. It does not matter to me. I'll probably like the character more if you took some time to design a unique one.
True. All right. I usually just use Dan. It's kind of funny.
But that stems from the arcade days too.
Yeah, the 3-letter thing. It was just like, well, my name actually fits. I don't know about you, Nathaniel. But if it's an RPG or something, it's always Arcommand because that's an anagram of Dan Amrich.
As is Dharma Inc.
Dharma Inc. and my favorite,
wow,
Rancid Ham. I will sometimes do Rancid Ham, like as a band name in Guitar Hero or something like that. Rancid Ham, it just sounds like something that people would have a great.
Shit, that's great.
I'm very happy with that one.
Antichrist.
Oh, you are Antichrist
with a letter or two left over.
And like my main gamer tag is bunny ears, and there's a story behind that at my website bunniears.net as to why I'm not a furry, so fuck you.
No.
But there is a pretty weird story behind why bunny ears is my gamer tag.
I am Lobster Tent.
Lobster Tent? Oh, is that Brett Elston?
Yeah.
Yes.
Lobster Tent.
I always find that anagrams help because it's like it's me, but it's not really me. That
or Bottle Turns.
Bottle Turns.
I don't know.
I like that my. God damn it!
Lobster
Back in the day when people, it was like when people first got cell phones. There was something on the internet that let you generate the letters of your numbers.
Phonespell.org.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And I think I got Lily Jew.
Wow.
Which is great.
Yeah, phonespell.org. You can type in your phone number and see what it
Belts rotten. I'm sticking with Lobster Tent. Michael?
Mine won't come as a surprise to anyone who's friended me.
Can I guess?
Go ahead.
Evil Ninja?
Yes!
Yes!
Evil Ninja or Michael
Victory
or
lap.
M. When I was playing MMOs, I was a little more creative. I was Sarastro on Final Fantasy IX and World of Warcraft. I was Zombie Reagan on City of Heroes.
Zombie Reagan!
Yes. And
I was Robochrist on
It was
City
a little
of
bit
Heroes.
after he died, so it was way too soon. And I think I still have a character on Warhammer Online because I got like a free account. His name's Sprug, who's an orc.
I like Sprug. It sounds disgusting, and I know it doesn't.
And when I did Star Wars Galaxies, I was Mikre Masan, which is the come up with your Star Wars name.
Right.
And it went around for a little bit.
Part of my Xbox Live handle, which I just wanted to use, is ANIS Antista, just anus ha.
Is that what? I never got that.
And
you have so many good options for anagramming.
Really?
Yeah. You've got
please.
China artists. You've got rich Satanist.
Yeah, rich Satanist.
That's fantastic. It's anarchist. And the one that I'm stunned that you're not using, Crash Tidians. That's pretty
Crash
good.
Tidians?
Crash Tidians. But chairs taints. You got chairs a racist hints.
Or I have racist, Antichrist, and Satan.
Yeah, you've got
all formidable within my name.
got tons that you could use.
Why am I alive? Why has
I don't
somebody anointed by God not come down and killed me?
Protection.
But there's
Satan protection program.
There's tons that don't make any sense at all. But the fact that you can make taint out of your name is probably
Just
taint
awesome.
and Satan and like
Satan taint.
Yeah. If you just had like
I think
a P in there too. Is your middle name? Does he have P? Because we could get rapist out of all of this.
I just found my Electric Mayhem cover band name. Satan taint.
Rich Satanist.
In your face.
Satanic shirt as well.
Satanic
shirt is really good.
It's
Rancid Ham opening for Satanic shirt.
So everybody else has to now tell us what their thing is, right?
Yep.
He's bombed over there. Fuck this.
No, hang on.
Typing it. Oh.
I'm just twittering. I'm twittering a piece of information that's actually Overclocked Remix was able to confirm.
Yeah.
Via
David Weiss?
VGMDB, database of video game music, that Michael Jackson did in fact produce music for Sonic 3. Like, it was always kind of nebulous. It seems like he did.
It wasn't. I thought we solved that.
It is confirmed he did.
The co-writer confirmed
The co-writer confirmed in Black and White magazine that Michael Jackson was actually working on some songs for Sonic 3, and they used a lot of those bass lines.
I thought I found that. I thought I produced the end of that.
You made a very compelling case. I don't remember which podcast it was.
The case is that Michael Jackson doesn't write any of his own music, but the people who wrote write all of Michael Jackson's music wrote the music on Sonic 3, and they are credited.
Let's see.
Not speculate.
The quote is, "Can you clarify that Michael in 1993 composed music for Sonic 3?" And Brad Buxer, I've never played the game, so I do not know which tracks Michael and I have worked on the development.
Ice Cap Zone.
Michael called me at the time for help on this project, and that's what I did. If he is not credited for composing the music, it's because he was not happy with the result of the sound coming out of the console.
Or Sega wasn't happy about the stains on his dick.
At the time, game consoles did not allow for optimal sound.
He just looked at me like, why?
No, that's not what I was doing. I'm letting... Keep going.
Michael and I had composed chords for the game, and it has been used for a bass in the song "Stranger in Moscow," which is one of his songs.
It's the ending of Sonic.
That's
awesome.
Interesting.
I'm looking at all of your other
anagrams.
Other anagrams. They're all vulgar, dude. Like you've hit the vulgar jackpot.
Sweet.
Cans tit hairs. Yeah, you've got can't sorry shit. I mean, like, it's amazing. You've got taint and shit and tits and
Satan
and
Antichrist.
racists. Yeah, I mean you get high tan racists. It's amazing. You've got congratulations. You really and yes, with a little bit of wiggling, you can get a antichrists, like a singular plural antichrist. You are Antichrist.
Moving on to one quick Ask Games Journalist. One question from the forums in GamesRadar.com/forums. Again, answer the question of the week, and we'll read your answer. This is the Ask a Games Journalist thread, where you ask us questions about the industry, and we try to answer them in a reasonable fashion.
He says, looking at me like, don't over-answer this.
Yeah. This one's from Humpy Dumpy.
Sup, Hump?
God dang.
Step off.
He hasn't even stepped up.
He's doing
Hey. He said, when I review a game, he's in the Netherlands, by the way. He's just getting into
then do a funny accent.
Yarb.
He's just getting into the...
no, Swedish Chef. I want more Swedish Chef.
I don't... Fuck you.
There you go, Brett.
He gets into this, he's just getting into this, and he says, when I review a game, I tend to go through the same pattern every time. First, I'll talk about the graphics, then the gameplay, then the replay value. Have you guys ever experienced that, where you get stuck in a routine, like you end up reviewing games in a formula? What do you do to keep the article fresh and not like other reviews you've written before?
Yarb.
This is a really...
Fjord.
Well, the super reviews we write are
yes.
termed to that.
That's what I was going to say.
It's the antidote to
the Games Radar
writing
super reviews.
review.
They were designed from the beginning to get around that, in that you can't write them in a formula, because if you look on GamesRadar.com,
/GamesRadar.
We pick the big games that everyone's definitely going to care about, and we do what we call super review. And in those, we treat them like a feature. We write them as if we're trying to entertain you, while simultaneously getting the point across of a review with a score and pluses and minuses and all this stuff. But I mean, that's what really helped me get past that, was focusing on, well, what's the most important aspect of this game, or what's a funny joke.
Who is it important to?
Who is it important to? What's a joke I could make, a point I could make, instead of going, wow, the graphics or the gameplay, or like, what immediately was done right or wrong, or what does this immediately remind you of, without getting lost in the historical implications of this game began and blah blah. No one fucking cares.
Considering the display of games hasn't changed much since the PS1, like, you kind of get... There's no reason to talk about the graphics anymore. You know what system's more powerful, and...
Unless it's doing something really unique. It's sort of like, guess what? It's photorealistic.
It's very... Well,
I'm also reminded of something when, shortly after we first started, Stephen called us all into a room and read us a review of a game that he hated. And then he was like, talks about the controls. Oh, there's nothing wrong with the controls. Then why even mention it?
Good point.
It's like...
Really good point.
unless there's something wrong with the controls, don't talk about the controls. Or something unique, just leave it alone because you know how to play a game.
Or it could be solved in 3 words. The controls are.
The controls
fine.
are. The controls are, period. Because you know it's going to have controls.
Yeah.
I actually,
No, not
working
a
at
game.
GamePro back in the 90s, it was very much like, here's a checklist, do this. We open with something and we talk about the previous edition of that game, and now you're going to like it or you're not going to like it, and then graphics are, control are. And yeah, I got really burned out on that. And my trick is I just sit down and I start writing whatever the most important thing is that has hit me. And if I can say it in a funny way, then all the better. But it's just like, even if it's not the main point of the game, just something that strikes me as, well, that's worth doing. Start there and then let it flow from there. And eventually you will cover all the things that you need to cover. But definitely don't do it like a checklist because it's boring to read.
Yeah.
You know, because honestly, if you're writing in a checklist, all anybody's going to do is skip to that score or let it grade or whatever
which
you're doing
most
anyway.
people do anyway.
Most people do anyway.
Which is the point of the super reviews, was to make you want to read this 3-page review.
Yeah. Try to make yourself laugh with the lead. The leads are always the hardest thing, but try to make yourself laugh. Try to just approach it from, like, my favorite lead that I ever did was Capcom Fighting Jam. Do you remember that when it was like a couple of Street Fighter people, a couple of Darkstalkers people, a couple of Fighting Evolution. Sorry, Capcom Fighting Evolution.
Yes, kind of a big disappointment.
Yeah, but one of the characters was like some sea creature from one game that I had never seen before.
Darkstalkers.
No. It was
it
Red Earth or something.
Yeah. Thank you. It was Red Earth.
Oh, okay.
And I remember seeing, like, I was
T-Rex, too.
playing it. It was just so ludicrous that it was Ryu versus this giant tentacled creature for no reason.
Yeah, it was
and
like
my
a
lead
squid
was
with
just
a spear or
so it's
something?
come to this: Ryu versus a squid, or Ryu punching a squid, and that I was just so happy. Like, that was the silliest thing. It was not the point of the game,
right?
But it just kind of. This has to be said. He fights a squid, and I knew that if I could entertain myself with that and put it up front, then other people would be like, "What?" It was a total WTF opener.
Yeah.
So try to go for the WTF opener if the game lends itself to it. Go for the silliest, weirdest thing, and don't just say this game came out a while ago. Because you're right.
Your name is on it.
Yeah.
Years from now, maybe that'll be the one review people like to read. That's it.
All right.
What are we doing next week? Dan will vacate the offices.
And suddenly become a big fan of Tony Hawk Ride.
Boy, I can't. I haven't played it yet.
It sucks.
Oh, all right. I'll keep that in mind.
No, well, my favorite thing was as I walked to
I played
lunch,
very early version.
As I walked to lunch, like earlier this week, as I'm walking down the hallway, I hear Michael walk up to, I think, Chris or somebody, and go, I took Tony Hawk Ride over the weekend. And keep in mind, this is decreasing in volume as the distance increases as I walk down the hallway. And
that's sweet.
Is my skateboard broken because I can't steer? Like, is something wrong? Am I missing something? It's like, no, that's the game. You actually can't steer.
Yeah, well, what happened was I started out on the lowest difficulty setting because I figured, like, well, I'm still learning how to
it's
use
a totally
this thing.
new.
Yeah, I'll start off, and then I'm like, why the fuck isn't it doing anything when I steer? And Chris told me it's like because it's on rails.
Yeah.
At the lowest difficulty
Yeah,
setting.
easy is on rails.
And then I went back and played it on medium last night. It's like it's actually not any better.
No.
Like I know I can steer. I'm able to turn around and move, and I don't just get to the end of the stage and free skate ends for whatever reason. But it's
upwards
it's
of 2 degrees of sensitivity in that tilt.
It's like riding a skateboard with like 6 layers of mittens around your feet.
Wow.
It feels like a layer of gauze between you.
It does.
And,
if there was a layer of air and velocity removed from the situation,
ugh, it's terrible.
Do you think that'll like come around over time, like with the inevitable Ride 2 or something like that?
I think
is
is
it something that needs to be refined?
That's what Michael and I were talking about. One of the most fun things, the most fun thing about the game is standing on the board and not doing anything.
Yeah, not playing the
or
game.
Like walking around the office
It's
with
great.
our feet on the board.
Yeah, just fucking around with that board is fun, but then it's like, just go buy a board with no truck on it. Like,
Yeah, it's sort of like buying a toy and then just playing with the box.
It is.
What that board is.
Oh, wow.
It's like, wow, it's really fun when it's not hooked up to the game.
Now, have you tried standing at the turntable while your feet are on the board?
The only way we could get people in the office to complete something on the medium difficulty, I forget what it's called, was to...
Radical.
I was going to say, is it extreme?
Or Street Skater, Top Skater, what's the Sega
Top
arcade
Skater,
game?
yeah.
is to hold themselves somewhere.
Yeah.
Because
like on rails.
You can't bend one way and then another when you're not moving and having the velocity pull you.
You don't have momentum.
You don't have the momentum to keep you on the board, so you have to bend one way or the other. And for me, it seemed to have 2 degrees of sensitivity. You want to turn hard and really hard, and then you want to stop turning hard. And I lean back and I turn hard the other way. Not great for me. Tried recalibrating it, couldn't do anything. Tony just kept saying, "Dude, let's do this again." Doesn't matter.
Next week.
Doesn't matter. Next week what?
I'm working on Monday's top 7.
Ooh. What you got?
A hint is... That's a shitty
Jason?
hint. No. Cold. Yeah.
That's the hint?
That's the hint. It's not a stretch of the imagination.
Man, you sound excited.
I think it has something to do with cold.
Is it Paul Ryan-esque?
Imagine what season we're in. That is correct.
Correct.
Season of the Witch?
That is correct.
The top 7 on Monday will be about things that are cold.
I'm going to miss these really old song references.
Thank you. No, Season of the Witch was Halloween 3.
Halloween 3.
So they also played it at the end of the Simpsons episode the other...
3 more days till Halloween. And then octopuses come out of your head or something.
And then Ryu fights them.
Anybody else working on anything next week that we know about? Michael?
I'll be fighting an apartment.
I'm working on something for the week after next, which involves boxes.
Boxes.
An annual treat.
This is so great. It's become Michael's thing.
Say. Yeah. It's kind of slim pickings this year. But
is it really?
See.
I gotta send you some stuff. I have some stuff.
Do send me some stuff.
I didn't get to praise you, Dan Amrich, but
it's all right.
I absolutely love you.
You didn't need to. Everybody else did. I was very uncomfortable.
I'm not upset. It's.
I know what you mean.
I've never said, Dan Amrich, you are a personal hero of mine.
That's because I shouldn't be.
It's too late because you
aim higher. Tiger
you do
Woods
acting,
or William Shatner or
voice,
Tiger Woods.
You write.
Oh yeah.
You do community stuff and you do it all very well. And I can't ever juggle the amount of stuff that you seem to be able to do effortlessly.
Oh, there's effort.
And it just seems like part of your personality. I can't not love you. I've always called you my ray of sunshine because you come over to the office and you brighten up everybody's day, and it's really kind of fucking suck not to have that anymore.
I distract you. That's really all it is.
It's not a distraction.
You've got Butters.
Remember the first time you came over, you just got back from Vegas and never really talked to you before, and you're like, God damn it, Carrot Top was everywhere. He's got billboards, and I'm like, and all I said is a little intern, really? And you turn around, you'd think he was the fucking mayor.
I don't remember this conversation at all.
It's a great line that you said, like off the cuff, made my day beautiful.
I have no memory of saying that, but again, like my memory is bad, so I can't deny anything that people allege that I have said, done, or
I'm absolutely going to miss you. Every single outlet that you've left has taken a loss.
I don't think that's true.
It's very true.
It's
very true, and
but
Activision has gained a son. That's what
are you going to sing Sunrise?
I've always
Sunset
wanted to
now?
say this to you. It's like
I appreciate it.
It's like wanting to, you needing to tell your dad that you love him, which I won't, because I will not. And yeah, I just needed to tell you that it's been very important to have you around. It really, and it sucks. It sucks that it's not going to happen.
I will be back to say hi. I will be visiting. I will be traveling. I am only going to L.A. I'm not going to North Dakota or Bemidji, Minnesota, or whatever.
Hey, don't make fun of Minnesota.
Doesn't matter. But if I had an article in an arcade game that I needed information on, you were always like,
but I have
whip smart right there.
I have to emails and I have to IMs and the Facebooks and the internets.
For some reason, here's the thing: I can't write you an email without being funny. And I'm like, I'm going to bother Dan. I'm going to have to open with a joke.
So many fucking times I've sent you an email and you just didn't respond.
That isn't true.
That is true. And if that's what it was that you thought that I had to, you needed to entertain me.
Yeah.
I was just like, dude, what do you want to do with this?
You are a personal hero of mine, and I give you hats off. I cannot stand that we're losing you. It sucks.
Oh, thank you.
We're going to give everybody an update. Dan, at Dan Amrich on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm at Dan Amrich on Twitter. Yeah, I'm keeping that. Whatever the new project is going to be. I'm on Facebook. It's Dan Amrich.
Lots of good pictures.
Bunnyyears.net is my personal site. You're going to find a lot of geekery
I lost an entire weekend on Bunnyyears.net with tattoo assassins.
Yes,
Can I post a picture of you in the Ghostbusters
outfit? Oh no, there's plenty.
In the graveyard. It made me laugh more than any other non-photoshopped, non-joke picture I have ever seen. in this entire decade.
Is this the one of me defiling someone's thing in the graveyard?
Again, I don't know what it is about you. Just like I broke down every piece of it. This is why Dan Amrich rules. Look at the look on his face. He's acting in this photo like he's destroying something. I don't want to ruin it. I'm going to post on the page.
Okay.
It always makes me laugh. I saved it to look at it. It always makes me laugh. And
you can post whatever you want. I don't care. And of course, PaletteswapNinja.com, where all of the funny songs you've heard on this show, and even the really unfunny ones, are available for free download at PaletteswapNinja.com. Just learn how to spell palette, and you'll be fine.
Entertainment, is that still going on?
Yeah. Or you can go to entertainment.com, and you can get like little flash players, so you can embed them in people's forums and stuff, and then they just play it on command and click it like a little flash player. It's very
all
nice.
Game sound effects and Palette Swap Ninja. I'm okay with that.
And of course, just because I'm leaving does not mean that I do not believe in World of Warcraft official magazine. World of Warcraft themagazine.com. I will probably not be writing anything for issue 2, but I did do an awful lot of stuff for issue 1. And I think issue 1 is going to be a collector's item. I don't think people are going to expect how good it's going to be, because I think that they're thinking about old school magazines and, this is just a ripoff, and Blizzard's just trying to soak my money, and this is all Activision's fault because they bought Blizzard, and all that fun stuff. I think you're really, if you're into WoW at all, I think you're really going to like it, and it is worth subscribing. It's not going to be available on newsstands. There is no ads in it. It's 148.
Really?
Yeah, there's no ads in it. It's a quarterly magazine, and there's 148 pages, all content. It's 148 pages, and it's all content. This is a different...
148 pages?
Well, everybody keeps saying print is dying. Wow. It's that the old print, sort of ad model is dying.
Yeah.
It's not that magazines aren't fun to read when they're well made. So that was our goal. Give you something that's worth sitting on the can with, and you kind of want to keep shitting because it's that good of a magazine. So
I know the feeling.
Yeah,
dropping gems, as Dan called it.
If you find that you don't like it, you will be able to eBay it, because I think a lot of people are going to be caught unawares. So, World of Warcraft the magazine.
Same with the prize Dan offered for just making fun of him, apparently.
Yeah, there you go.
I just want to say I don't believe in it, by which I mean I don't think it exists.
Oh. Well, it doesn't exist
yet. I think it's a hoax from the government.
I'm not leaving my house just because some World of Warcraft magazine comes over. I don't believe...
Sir, please get in the boat. The water is rising.
No, y'all.
That hurricane ain't coming over here.
Yeah, no World of Warcraft magazine's going to make me leave my house.
an actor.
All right, what Daniel song's taking us out?
I don't know. Maybe nothing. It's your call. I'll leave it to you.
You did Viva? You didn't do Viva?
We didn't do. I guess let's stop it where it all began.
Is that the first song?
Yeah, that was the first Palette Swap Ninja song, and that was. We came up with the title in Jude's truck on the way back from Fast Times rehearsal.
It's really good.
We just started laughing at that. And like we didn't have any of the lyrics. I just started singing like, if you like Viva Pinata, and we just started laughing all the way home.
It's a good one.
Yeah. So why not? Let's do that. The only song I've ever performed live, and I did it on
TalkRadar
50.
Our 50th anniversary.
Such a badge. I can't believe I fucking couldn't remember my own lyrics.
Oh yeah,
unbelievably.
So you got to come back for TDar 100 when you're an Activision man.
Yeah, maybe I'll have a different song.
I cannot believe that was.
Yeah.
50 years ago. So amazing.
Who knew?
30 years ago.
So thank you for making this whole thing about my ego, and I'm just going to remind people to respect their elders.
We love you, Dan. Give someone some words to live by.
Commit. Seriously, if I had one word to say for the rest of my life, the reason that I do goofy photos and shit like that, don't get up at karaoke and then sing quietly.
Right.
You get up there, fucking commit. Whatever you're going to do, just fucking
that was
do
actually
it.
the first compliment you gave me on a video feature we worked on. You were like, you
You committed. It makes a difference. If you're worried about looking like an asshole, you've already lost.
I thought that was like
Be the
backhanded and
asshole.
like you looked like a moron and it sucked, but at least you committed.
Was this
tried.
the shirt off thing? Oh well, and the teabagging video for you. I was like, you so committed to that.
Oh yeah,
and it wouldn't have worked if you.
I just wanted to make
do
a
it
little goofy
halfway.
cartoon.
Like half-assing in general is bad, but when you half-ass something
Comedy?
Comedy.
Yeah. You cannot half-ass comedy.
That's why I did the roast accent.
That's right. I know that was the full roast.
Hey.
Let me tell you. Yeah, that's my only word of wisdom. Commit. Just fucking do it.
I was bored of my gaming. I've been playing too long. From Project Gotham to Halo, I'd even tired of Pong. But then I picked up a new game, one my friends never knew. I put a post on the forums to try to find a player too. If you like Viva Pinata, but you feel all ashamed, your friends don't understand you because you like a kid's game. If you play co-op games at midnight when nobody can see, I got room on my friends list. Send an invite to me. I started tending my garden. The grass had started to sprout, but I kept it all hidden so my Halo clan would not find out. I logged into the forums to see if someone came by, and in a personal message I got a single reply. Yes, I like Viva Pinata, and I feel quite ashamed. All my friends think it's stupid, and they call me rude names. I'm up for Viva games at midnight when nobody can see. Hit me up for some co-op. Your secret is safe with me. So I turned on my Xbox, got a new friend request. But when I heard who had sent it, I would never have guessed. It was my clanmate from Halo, and I said, oh, it's you. Then we laughed for a moment, and I said I never knew that you like Viva Pinata, but nobody could know that you're proud of your garden and its horsetachios. Just make yourself a second gamer tag to ensure privacy. But if you want those achievements, come play co-op with me. If you like Viva Pinata, but you feel all ashamed, your friends don't